The Mountain Lord's hand is still wrapped around the enchanting Empress's throat, and Zhuo Fan is already laughing at the Sword Emperor from inside a cloud of black energy. When a steward starts hallucinating the master he buried 1,000 years ago, you know the sacred mountains are about to lose more than their dignity. Like and subscribe before the next tribulation hits. The two rushed away with Chu Qingcheng in tow, yet not out of Ruby Cloud Sect, instead slipping near the main hall. A patrol of disciples passed by and the two knocked them out without a sound. "What are you doing?" Chu Qingcheng whispered. Li Jingshan waved off her concern. "Miss Chu, they're fine. Make sure to stay quiet and follow me." The two venerables led her to a hidden spot. Chu Qingcheng was baffled but trusted them since they harmed no one. They reached a hidden part of the wall of the building and looked in through the window. "Steward Zhu, you've drunk a dozen cups already. Can we start already, master?" Chu Qingcheng gave the two an odd look, seeing them grave. She could only refocus on the scene inside the hall where Zhuo Feng, her master, and Zhuo Fan were. Zhuo Fan placed his teacup down. "This should be enough. I've stalled for an hour now. Should I keep going? Enchanting Empress, your maiden tea is delightful. I can't get enough of it." "Steward Zhuo, Lord Saint called you here to discuss, not chat over tea." The enchanting Empress's face was dark, glaring at Zhuo Fan. It all started as courtesy, showing him hospitality, but this guy kept fussing over the tea being too cold or too hot. Then he stuffed himself with snacks, only to ask for a potty break. He was wasting time, no doubt about it, not wanting to get to it. We're all civilized people here, men of status that know courtesy, so being polite was only natural. But this, Zhuo Fan had been milking their courtesy for an hour now. The two didn't know what he was playing, but their patience was running thin, unable to keep their calm. Bam. Zhuo Fan slammed the teacup down, raging, "Humph, enchanting Empress, is this how you treat guests? Can a guy enjoy a nice warm tea around here? Is this Ruby Cloud Sect's hospitality? You've had 18 of them." Zhuo Feng's face twitched, snapping, "This is the 6th time you used that pretext. Can't you at least change your script? You might like this agitation, but we don't. What are you trying to pull?" Zhuo Fan beamed bashfully. "That many? Ha ha ha, sorry, I didn't keep count. Though could I get a refill?" "Enough." Zhuo Feng slammed the table. "Zhuo Fan, I've never seen a more revolting person in my life. I know what your game is, but no matter how much you stall, it won't work. It's time you give me an explanation. Why is the demonic emperor attacking two emperors without reason?" Zhuo Fan shrugged. "The whole of the sacred domain knows it, even the enchanting empress." The two emperors were at odds with the demonic emperor and waged war. If not for Lord Saint interfering, it would have been over by now. Later, Saint took the Nether Sea map, then went back. "Sir doesn't have to mix in our squabbles. It's the Sacred Mountain's decision, not requiring discussion with anybody, especially with you." Zhuo Feng unleashed his strong aura filled with bloodthirst. Zhuo Fan sneered inside. "He can flip out all he wants now, humph." The enchanting empress intervened. "Sir Saint, think of everything. If Qingcheng finds out about his death, it will make things worse. It'll be bad if she takes her life." Zhuo Feng quelled his seething anger. The enchanting empress said, "Steward Zhuo, I know you wield all of the demonic emperor's forces with Zhao Chen in seclusion. It's brave of you to go against two emperors in the demonic emperor's name, but once he comes out, he will make you answer for it. Nothing enchanting empress needs to concern herself with. All I do is for the demonic emperor. I started the war with Sir's approval. There's no point in you interfering, ha ha ha. Steward Zhu, you're burning bridges." The enchanting empress mocked. "The demonic emperor has the power to fight those two because I and the sword emperor wore them out. While you two stood by and watched, we took heavy losses. I can overlook this, but now you want us to stand back. That's not very honest. But it is, since our deal is done. You got your Nether Sea map, so what are you lacking? I don't care about your squabbles. You are forbidden from fighting." Zhuo Feng slammed the table again. "The 8 emperors are about to change. A few disciples will come down from sacred mountains, replacing some of the 8 emperors. It's unclear who it will be. It's too soon for you to fight for more land." Zhuo Fan said, "Replace the 8 emperors? Are you kidding me? The 8 emperors represent sacred mountains, but they are outside of it. They come from every corner of the sacred domain and understand it best. Those entitled saints don't know the first thing about the sacred domain situation. They lack the experience to handle local factions and quell chaos. It'll be a miracle if the sacred domain won't burn to the ground. It won't be of benefit to anyone, including the sacred mountain's supply. There's sure to be accidents. Are you looking down on us? That's no disdain but fact." Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. "The sacred domain is a world where the strong rule, but for them to form their faction, they need the skill set for it, to know how to draw people in and feel at ease as their power grows. With the sacred mountains merely observing from above, they don't know anything about how things work down below. With a few reckless commands, the sacred domain's order will be broken, with the people crushed and suffering. Enchanting Empress was touched, with Zhuo Fan sneering, "No one will stir anything when we come down. We can even replace the 8 emperors with pigs and there'll still be no objection. You guys only have pigs. You dare disgrace the sacred mountains," Zhuo Fan roared. The Enchanting Empress rushed to stop him, advising, "Steward Zhuo, we have no say in the sacred mountains' decision. Their disciples have incredible talent and might be qualified for our positions. Over time, they will gain their experience and become able lords." "Humph, able, you say, when they can't reach sainthood with those top cultivation methods and mountains of resources thrown at them," Zhuo Fan mocked, "even making them into the 8 emperors. While time can give them experience, their mindset will never change. Did they rise from the bottom? Will they listen to others' suggestions? A bunch of pompous pricks will sooner or later destroy everything. Using the sacred domain's turmoil to raise their own people is so kind of the sacred mountains, humph." Zhuo Fan mocked, Zhuo Fan sneered, and the Enchanting Empress sighed. Also, Zhuo Fan continued, "Enchanting Empress, they'll send a few to replace the 8 emperors, but next time there will be even more. At some point, all will be replaced. The only land ruled by bottom cultivators will turn over into the hands of those high and mighty from the sacred mountains. Then there will be no end to our torment. The same goes for you as well. It's only a matter of time before only the sacred mountains could produce saints, taking all the highest positions." Zhuo Fan mocked, "And isn't it now the same?" "Of course not. The 8 emperors have a share of resources left from the sacred domain, giving hope of creating some saints. But once the sacred mountains take everything, this little hope will be crushed. What chance do cultivators born outside the sacred mountains ever have of reaching the top? Blame it on their birth for being born elsewhere." Zhuo Fan had a sinister smirk. "No matter how antagonistic the 8 emperors are, they are to stay put. You can resume once the replacements are here. The other emperors should get word of it soon. No one gets to disobey, not even the demonic emperor, let alone a nobody like you." Zhuo Fan's eyes shone with bloodthirst. He came to see Zhuo Fan for another reason, but the sacred mountain's decision infuriated him. In both of his lives, he had clawed his way from the bottom, his pride making him never lower his head to anyone, not even the sacred mountains. For he believed that one day he would surpass those fools. He didn't have anywhere near the resources they had, but he made up for it with effort. This decision, however, would make the common people lose all hope. The resources would be under tight control, and even reaching sainthood would only be possible if the sacred mountains allowed it. There would be no hope to become strong. He didn't know what got the sacred mountains to go crazy and issue such a decision, but Zhuo Fan would be sure to never let them succeed. "I need to speed up taking down the 8 emperors." Taking a deep breath to calm down, Zhuo Fan's gaze went cold. Zhuo Fan waved him off with scorn. "Go tell the demonic emperor to stop and change his aide, or the first replacement might just be his, ha ha ha. Saint, are you trying to get me fired? No, I just dislike mavericks. Then you shouldn't complain when I overstep." "Overstep?" Zhuo Fan taunted. "You're threatening me now." "Ha, with what?" Zhuo Fan smirked. "Oh, I don't know, King Cheng. Chu King Cheng." Zhuo Fan laughed harder. "Her, save it. No girl can ever affect me. Actually, I'm going to threaten you with her. Your defiant nature would have gotten you killed by now, even if you were one of the 8 emperors. You're only breathing because I don't want her to know. Once I take her to the sacred mountains, you best watch out, ha ha ha." Chu King Cheng was furious. This was his plan all along, and I almost trusted him. Zhuo Fan looked back with a smile. "Saint sir, you're too scornful of me. As a puny cultivator, I didn't get into the demonic emperor's good graces by luck alone. You think I'm like you, gambling with a girl's feelings? Too risky. Well, do you have anything else?" "Of course." Zhuo Fan snickered. "The reason why you must have Chu King Cheng." Zhuo Fan shook and grew heavy. The Enchanting Empress panicked. "Zhuo Fan, you can't spout nonsense. Lord Saint came from the sacred mountains for the first time. He passed by the Ruby Cloud Sect, found King Cheng stunning, and was drawn to her. A gentleman and a lady would make for a great couple, that's why he wanted to take her." "Yeah, it's that simple," Zhuo Fan added. Zhuo Fan beamed. "Let's be honest here, since there's only 3 of us. That's an excuse for everyone else to hide the truth and a terrible secret about King Cheng's history." "History?" the two cried out, with Zhuo Fan looking hateful. What do you know?" "I know something, but enough, hee." Zhuo Fan gave a sneaky smile. 100 years ago, the sky changed, an omen of great significance. It happened to be King Cheng's birth nearby Ruby Cloud Sect. The Enchanting Empress went over at once and knew the girl was special, covered in a prismatic glow, taking her for a disciple. Since it was too important, she silenced everyone that knew anything about her, including her parents. Chu King Cheng held her mouth, unable to believe her ears. The Enchanting Empress grew dark, cursing. "Zhuo Fan, stop vilifying. Enchanting Empress, why so nervous?" "Allow me to finish first." Zhuo Fan continued. The enchanting empress sneaked King Cheng into the sect to raise her, telling only her backer, the sixth sacred mountain's lord. The lord knew taking the girl would draw unneeded attention. So he set it up for his son to marry her 100 years later. That would get the girl on the mountain with none the wiser. A perfect match between a gentleman and a lady, no, ha ha ha. Zhuo Feng's face twitched and barked, rubbish. Why would we do this to King Cheng? Because you found an ancient and scary record that she is related to a sovereign path, Zhuo Fan shouted. Zhuo Feng pointed at him in shock. How do you know that? The sacred mountains aren't the only ones with ancient records. No, impossible. We only found bits and pieces in our ancient records, yet your Luo clan under the demonic emperor has. Young master the enchanting empress' sharp voice stopped him, but it was too late. Zhuo Fan taunted, what did I tell you? The sacred mountains' entitled princelings have nothing to them other than their huge backers. That sentence proves everything. Try denying it now, you bastard. You goaded me. Zhuo Feng was outraged and filled with bloodthirst. King Cheng can't protect you anymore, you know too much. Zhuo Fan didn't care he was about to attack. My man-child of a prince, this is your fault. Knowing things doesn't mean death. Try anything and tomorrow, all of the sacred domain will hear about this. Everyone will be fighting over King Cheng. What worth would the sixth sacred mountain be then? Did you forget about the rest of the mountains? Ha ha ha, a bunch of decrepit old fools stuck at peak sainthood will be sure to go crazy at the mere hope of reaching the sovereign stage. Zhuo Feng shuddered, glaring at Zhuo Fan with loathing. The enchanting empress was grave, though amazed at the same time. She cowered before the saints like all the other 8 emperors, but this kid went and toyed with him. But having leverage on a saint could burn him to ashes at some point. He's playing with his life. It would keep him safe for now, but disaster would come in the end. The sixth sacred mountain would not forget this, destroying him and the Luo clan to hide the secret. The enchanting empress continued, I've been cautious to not let anything leak when I did it. How did you find out? The enchanting empress just admitted to everything. King Cheng was about to cry in shock, but Li Jingshan held her mouth, with faint sobs sounding as tears streamed down. Her master killed her parents. You weren't too careful. Someone played dead and escaped. King Cheng asked me to help her find her history, so I did. Zhuo Fan smirked. He had not the slightest clue, just guesswork, but this proved enough for the two to buy it and admit to everything. Now he could go after King Cheng's sect without issues. The enchanting empress frowned. No, I made sure nobody escaped. There's no way that happened. Are you sure? Why else would he know so much? Zhuo Feng cursed. What do you want to keep silent? Zhuo Fan shrugged. I'll tell you when I figure it out. But I hope nothing bad will happen to the Luo clan and the demonic emperor due to the Sacred Mountain's decision. Zhuo Fan left then, laughing just before exiting. You're nothing but an idiot saint. You're not even close to challenging me. Damn it, bam. Zhuo Feng crushed the table. I'm the young lord of the sixth sacred mountain, yet I can't even touch that blasted bug. This kid is truly frightening. The enchanting empress sighed, waiting for Zhuo Feng to calm down before smiling. He's only clever while beneath you in every other way. Zhuo Feng's face twitched with blood leaking from his mouth. Curses, he is nothing compared to me at all. Is that how you intend to flatter me? Master, this is bad. A disciple burst in. Master, our sisters have suffered an attack and 50 people are unconscious. 50 people unconscious without any sign of who did it. They must be incredible. Search the sect. Yes, the disciple rushed out just as another entered. Master, Senior Aunt May was found unconscious and junior sister King Cheng is missing. What? Zhuo Feng roared. King Cheng is my sweetheart, raised for 100 years for me alone. I won't have this. I will slaughter any that had a part in this. Zhuo Feng vanished before anyone could stop him. Whoosh, in a dense forest, Zhuo Fan waited as Li Jingshan and Qiu Yanhai showed up with King Cheng. Steward Zhuo, no need for courtesy. Zhuo Fan only looked at King Cheng, understanding her pain. King Cheng, that's how it is. Don't feel sad, it's all in the past now. King Cheng felt devastated, hugging him hard. Zhuo Fan, I have no one. I don't have parents and now my master is a brutal murderer. There, aren't I still here? Rubbing her back, Zhuo Fan softly said, the hag is a pretender, now you know. It's good that you're finally leaving her. Just tell me how you want her handled and I'll help you. King Cheng hesitated. The enchanting empress had taken care of her for 100 years and was also her master. She couldn't forsake everything just like that, even with this betrayal. Zhuo Fan was happy with ruining their relationship. King Cheng's attachment to the enchanting empress had hindered Zhuo Fan's plans for so long, but now he was free to act. King Cheng wouldn't like to know he would kill the hag, but she wouldn't go against it. Zhuo Fan patted her back, consoling her. You go with them to the Luo clan, where it is safe so that guy won't take you. King Cheng nodded. Zhuo Fan was now her only lifeline. Take Miss Chu and protect her at all times. Yes, the elders bowed and held King Cheng's arms before shooting off. Zhuo Fan grinned. Minutes later, Zhuo Feng was darting everywhere to look for any clues, bastard. He stalled on purpose to confuse me. I won't fall for it. I will catch you and make mincemeat out of you. I will get King Cheng back. Wuxia figure blocked his path, making him jerk to a stop. Sir Saint, where are you going? Zhuo Fan chuckled with cupped hands. Zhuo Feng barked, rotten filth, get lost. This doesn't concern you. It's our greatest honor to serve you, Saint. Tell me what it is, sir, and I may be of help. I'm a saint, dominating the whole of the sacred domain. What could you possibly do to help me? Get lost before I lose my patience. Don't think for a second that you can show off just because you know my secret that I can't kill you. Know that I can give you a fate worse than death. Oh, I see, then please enlighten me, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan snickered, standing there and blocking his path. Zhuo Feng popped a vein. Fine, you asked for it, so don't come crying to me later. Zhuo Feng unleashed his mighty saint powers, putting all his pressure on Zhuo Fan. The dreadful aura would have put normal emperors out of commission from the heavy wounds. Zhuo Fan stood like it was a breeze that fell on him. A vortex of black energy on him dissipated the saint's power, fully absorbing it. How can this be? Zhuo Feng gasped in utter shock. You're just a bug, yet you can. Wait, you're not in the chi condensation stage. How else can you fly? Zhuo Fan snickered. There's no way a chi condensation cultivator could fly, let alone block half your pressure. They'd be crushed to pieces instead of still talking to you, ha ha ha. While you were laying low, Zhuo Feng gaped, then turned grave. What cultivation do you have? Around the peak of the Emperor stage. Humph, I see, not bad, but still nowhere close to my level. Zhuo Feng relaxed, his pride once again stoked. You still dare block me. Beat it already. Zhuo Feng shot for Zhuo Fan, using all his power, wanting to run him through. A saint had the power to do that against an emperor, for sure, though he wasn't against any normal emperor. Zhuo Feng clashed with something that felt like a wall, stopping him in his tracks. He looked up with shock to find a hand grabbing him. How is this possible? Zhuo Feng was overwhelmed. An emperor stopped me with one hand. Bam. Zhuo Fan's killing arm flicked him 1,000 meters away, making him tumble around. When he recovered, he was grave. What the hell are you? Luo clan steward Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan smirked, his calmness making even his surroundings tranquil. Zhuo Feng was scared. To have such an easy time stopping him meant he had incredible power. I really underestimated him. Zhuo Feng frowned and clenched his fists. Sacred body. Zhuo Feng shook and exploded in a white light, forming a huge image around him that had 8 divine swords on its back. Zhuo Feng held his head high with pride inside the huge figure. The giant hands took 2 flickering swords from its back, each hundreds of meters long, that unleashed biting winds as they were drawn. The enchanting empress had just looked over her unconscious disciples when she froze before shooting off. The saint unleashed his sacred body. He must have met with a great expert. Whoosh, the slash cut the sky as it pointed at Zhuo Fan. You then know our differences, being a peak emperor. Your imperial mark is nothing before my sacred body. Bring Chu Qingcheng back right now, for I have plenty of ways to silence the Luo clan and the demonic emperor. Oh really? Zhuo Fan mocked him, lifting the killing arm with a burning look in his eyes. I'm sorry, while there's no bad blood between us, you are after Qingcheng. The sooner you're out of the picture, the better. You don't know, but in Nether Sea, I planned on dealing with you, though I never got the chance. Now, haha, you came asking for it. Zhuo Feng laughed. Handle me, you got some nerve. Show me then, how will you handle a saint? Boom. Zhuo Feng slashed his 2 swords at Zhuo Fan with the power to rend the world. The world shifted and the sun dimmed, for the end of days was night. Zhuo Fan was unfazed, showing no reaction. As the blades reached him, his eyes shone and punched. Killin' tyrant fist, rumble a punch to destroy the world. Zhuo Feng's sword clashed with Zhuo Fan's punch, and in a flash of red they broke. The space cracked as black scars appear around them from the indomitable fist. As the unstoppable power reached Zhuo Feng, the mighty fist ran him through. The sacred body had a 500-meter hole in it. The huge body tottered before fading to nothing. Zhuo Feng coughed 3 mouthfuls of blood as he fell to the ground. Zhuo Feng slammed hard into the ground, his body broken in every way. Worse, his soul was severely injured, needing a decade to pull himself together. But now he didn't have any strength left in him, just like a bug. Even a foundation establishment stage could slap him into the beyond. Zhuo Fan drifted down, looking down at his victim with a sinister smile. Zhuo Feng was trembling in fear. Why, you're not human. You're a monster, spiritual beast, or a dragon. I'm a saint, the strongest human. How can you destroy my sacred body without even an imperial mark? Ha ha ha, you're right, though a bit off. Zhuo Fan shook his head. I'm half beast, but not a dragon or spiritual beast. The sacred beast decimating dragon ancestor remolded my body with his scale, making it unbreakable. This right hand comes from a soaring killing leg. In the Nether Sea, I gained guidance from the tyrant emperor. I hardly need to use anything to deal with an early saint bigot like you. My foundation is leagues above you. What? Zhuo Fan gaped. You have so many ancient experts behind you. Just who are you? Former demonic Emperor Zhuo Fan, current Luo clan's steward Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan smiled. As for the process of my second coming, I'll leave that a secret. Gulp. Zhuo Fan stammered, demonic Emperor Zhuo Fan, I heard he got 9 Serenities Sovereign's cultivation method, and that's why you could avoid that calamity. Right, but it was too late. What are you doing? Zhuo Fan shuddered in fear. Zhuo Fan snickered, what, you ask? Isn't it obvious? I just spilled my greatest secrets, and shouldn't you offer the same consideration? See consideration? Right, show some consideration by sharing as well. Zhuo Fan smirked, raising a hand that oozed black energy, placing it on his head. I lay my heart open to you, so you must die. Since dead men tell no tales, by Sir Saint, wish you great fortune to be born in the sacred mountains again, unlike me, to come from the bottom rung, though I don't mind, since my base birth allowed me to send you of lofty birth to reincarnate, ha ha ha. And no, don't. Og, wails of pain shuddered the forest as black energy spread out. When Zhuo Fan stood, he was surrounded by dust and rags taken by the wind. Zhuo Fan eased a breath. A saint sure has a strong cultivation. It's good that I've not used demon transformation art for a while. I'll need a few days to consolidate. I'd rather avoid ending up like the traitor Zhao Chen, ha ha ha. Whoosh, Zhuo Fan's ear twitched at the sound and vanished. You came just in time to report to the 6th sacred mountain, humph. Whoosh, the enchanting empress landed and looked around. Strange, I just saw Saint's sacred body around here. Where is he, master? Ruby Cloud Sect disciples arrived as well. We've looked around, but there's no sign of anyone. The enchanting empress nodded and hesitated. Is the battle over? And so they scattered. There's not a body around, so that means the one taking King Cheng couldn't be stopped by a saint. Won't it mean they have a saint as well? The enchanting empress stepped on something that caught her attention, the dust as well as bits of familiar clothing. This, the enchanting empress cried out in utter shock. This is the saint's clothing. What is it doing here? Did he get killed? SSS, the enchanting empress gasped in fear. Her knees softened and slumped to the ground, shell-shocked. This is really bad. The 6th sacred mountain's young lord died in the Ruby Cloud Sect's domain. Then the Lord will take it out on me. Disciples, gather everyone around at once. We'll report to the 6th sacred mountains. 2 weeks later, on the 6th sacred mountain, in a quaint and huge study, a middle-aged man with twin mustaches held dust and scraps of clothing in his hand with red eyes. The man exploded with a vicious aura, pulverizing his desk and everything in the room. The shivering, enchanting empress was sent flying and coughed blood. Who did this? Why was my son the only one to suffer in the 8 emperors' lands? The middle-aged man roared, snapping his bloodshot eyes on the enchanting empress, flashing in her face and grabbing her hair. He howled in her ear, enchanting empress, explain yourself. What happened? Why did my son suffer in your sect? Mountain Lord, young lord's fate had nothing to do with me. We didn't do it. Of course I know that, so stop wasting my time. You don't have what it takes. Bam. The enchanting empress got thrown into a wall as the man raged. I'm asking you who killed my son in your sect's domain. You better have an answer or I'll wipe the Ruby Cloud Sect from the sacred domain. Mountain Lord, we will investigate this and report to you. The enchanting empress kneeled again in terror. The middle-aged man held his head with grief. Fenger, you suffered so much, not even leaving a body behind. Fenger, I thought Chu King Cheng would be great for you in understanding sovereign stage, but now I shall never see you again. What of your disciple then? What happened to her? If she's devastated, I can allow her entrance into the sacred mountain as a widow. She. Enchanting empress stammered. The man turned frosty. What about her? Hasn't she been getting close to Fenger? Doesn't she care if he died? Humph, absurd. A sacred mountain young lord shows his care and she doesn't want it. She just doesn't know her own fortune. Fine, since there's nothing there, I'll still allow her on sacred mountain as my daughter-in-law for being with Fenger for so long. But better have her clean her act as a devastated widow. That's the only way to move me and allow her in without raising suspicion to the other mountains. Did I make myself clear? Mountain Lord, that's beside the point. The enchanting empress's face shook hard. The man gave her a long look. Not the point, then what is it? I'm not asking her to truly feel for my son, just act like it to fool others. What's so hard about that? How did you teach her all these years to not manage a disciple? No, Mountain Lord, I do know how to manage my disciples and guide them after so many years together, but what? But she has to be present first. The man went blank, his grief all but lost. What's that supposed to mean? You're not saying. The enchanting empress lowered her head. She was actually so in love with Fenger that she took her life. The man's mind went wild with guesses. The enchanting empress blinked, lost. Took her life. King Cheng and your son barely know each other. Aren't you overestimating your son's charm here? The enchanting empress' silence made the man angrier. You're such a disappointment. How could you not watch your disciple? We've been raising this prize pig for a century. Even with my son gone, she shouldn't have been harmed. Damn hag, give me back my prize pig." The man clutched the enchanting empress' neck with fury in his eyes. He cared more for Chu King Cheng than for his son. Mountain Lord, listen to me. King Cheng is fine." The enchanting empress' hoarse voice barely got through. The guy perked up and let her go. "Then what was that about? I thought." "She isn't here because someone took her," enchanting empress said. The man's face shook, then he clutched the enchanting empress's neck again, but even tighter. Coughed. The enchanting empress pawed at his cold hand and coughed for air. "Mountain Lord, spare me. Wretched stinking hag, you can't do anything right." The man gnashed his teeth. "My son died near your place, and then you lost the prize pig I had you raise for a century. So you tell me what you deserve." The enchanting empress held her sore neck, stammering, Mountain Lord, King Cheng is only missing. We just have to get her back. It's better than being dead." As if, bam. Throwing her into the groan again, he snapped, "I'd be happier if she took her life because of my son. Now she's gone and my son is dead. Not only did I lose everything, but there's not an ounce of feeling between them. Have you any idea of the heartbreak I'm going through? I thought you felt none as a practical man." The enchanting empress bowed, keeping that bit to herself as she said, "Please restrain your grief, Mountain Lord. Cut the crap. I want to know everything, what is going on and how you lost King Cheng." "Talk or die," the man demanded. The enchanting empress bowed and reported how Zhuo Fan called Zhuo Fan over to warn him, only for the latter to know everything. "Not long after Zhuo Fan left, we discovered unconscious disciples in the sect and King Cheng missing. Young Lord rushed in pursuit, and I was unaware it would be the last time I got to witness the young Lord's genius, kindness, and amiable nature. Oh, the sorrow. Stop crying." The Mountain Lord snapped at her. "I know exactly what my son was, least of all amiable. You're only crying for my sake." The enchanting empress gave a dry smile. "Mountain Lord so insightful, but the young lord had many people's respect, ha ha ha." Ignoring the blatant flattery, the man said, "So it all happened after Zhuo Fan left. Isn't he related?" That can't be." The enchanting empress shook her head. "Why not? Mountain Lord, Zhuo Fan is the demonic emperor's right-hand man. He is beyond resourceful, but he's as weak as a bug in the bone-tempering stage. He'd have long since been reduced to fertilizer if not for the protection his high status offered. Young Lord was a saint that no bug could even touch. It's not possible." Then the ones around him, Mountain Lord squinted. 8 emperors shook her head still. "Mountain Lord, the Luo clan sought shelter with the demonic emperor. They can't have any experts. They are at least beneath the demonic emperor. While the one that took King Cheng moved like the wind, rendering Mei Sangu, my junior sister, unconscious without even reacting. This is the level of 8 emperors at the least. The Luo clan couldn't have done it. And yes, when we were at the sect, I saw the young lord's sacred body, but by the time we got there, no one was there. This proves that the young lord's fight was swift. Mountain Lord, the only one able to kill the young lord so fast is a saint. The 8 emperors could never do this." Mountain Lord nodded. "Yeah, you're right about that, but who did it? To kill Fenger in a blink, one must have mid-saint power. Maybe. Mountain Lord, did you find out? There's one faction that has such power, the Dragon Saints." Mountain Lord squinted. "The 7 sacred mountains and the dragons are at odds, but it's been years since we intersected. They're avoiding any conflict. They could never have struck my son. Maybe the young lord's immense pride provoked them. No, I warned him not to ever touch those lizards." Mountain Lord denied her guess. "If not the dragons, then the other sacred mountains." "Has Chu King Cheng's secret leaked?" The two shared a look and nodded. This was the most plausible explanation. Zhuo Fan had the biggest motive to take her, but not the strength, leaving the two crossing him out. The matters were becoming complicated, with them unable to figure out who was behind it. They believed Zhuo Feng's death was due to Chu King Cheng. Zhuo Feng must have found the other's secret and was silenced. "Fenger, I will find your killer and rescue the precious Chu King Cheng," Mountain Lord vowed. The enchanting empress said, "Since the secret is out, does Zhuo Fan's threat still stand?" "Yes." Giving her a sidelong glance, Mountain Lord continued, "So long as it isn't an open secret, the threat will be real. No one will spread this secret, not us, not the ones taking Chu King Cheng. We need to strike first and get Chu King Cheng with us at once." The enchanting empress nodded. "Are we to condone his defiant actions? Isn't it just land? He can cause trouble for the next sacred mountain's disciples, so long as he keeps his mouth shut." Mountain Lord sneered. "The 7 sacred mountains' joint action stems from the fear of those old fools due to the event a century ago, that a strong expert will emerge that would topple their power. They want to regulate all resources so that not even an ungodly genius of the likes of the 10 ancient sovereigns can reach sainthood without our say-so." The enchanting empress nodded, her heart sinking. "It's just like the kid said, the sacred mountains want to crush everyone. Now there's no hope for anyone else to rise to the top." Zhuo Fan was back on Devil Mountain, where he met nervous guards in the main hall. They bowed and reported their worries. Steward Zhuo, you're here. What's wrong? Why are you all here? Zhuo Fan asked. Steward Zhuo, our assault on the two emperors has been going smoothly, but the two have taken to the battlefield themselves and none of us can take them on. We've received urgent reports requesting the demonic emperor's assistance, but the demonic emperor has been in seclusion and we don't know what to do. We will suffer heavy losses if this goes on. We can't take more of the unstoppable emperor's attacks. Oh, I see. Zhuo Fan raised an eyebrow. Don't worry, I will go see the demonic emperor now to ask him to fight. Zhuo Fan walked among their gratifying words towards the stone door. Demonic emperor, sir, I have something to report. Rumble, the heavy door opened and Zhuo Fan entered. He saw a ghastly Zhao Chen with bloodlust in his eyes. Where are my ingredients? The demonic emperor's breath was ragged. Zhuo Fan smiled. Demonic emperor, sir, I can no longer provide them. Why? The Falcon Emperor and Wraith Emperor have taken to the battlefield, blocking us from taking more prisoners. Bam. Zhao Chen slammed the stone bed, breaking it. Outrageous. Those bastards are ruining everything. I'll get them for this. There are reports from the front lines requesting the demonic emperor's help to eliminate them. Also, with the 8 emperors' incredible cultivation, they are sure to be a great boost. Zhuo Fan snickered. Zhao Chen's eyes shone with malice and madness. Ha ha ha, using them I'll reach sainthood. Zhao Chen vanished, leaving Zhuo Fan alone. Li Jingshan had taken Chu Qingcheng to the Luo clan, then came here, coming over to Zhuo Fan. Steward Zhuo, what did you have him cultivate in? Why is he so erratic, like a lunatic? It's his heart that's going wild. It has nothing to do with the cultivation method. Zhuo Fan sighed and snickered. With the demonic emperor on the move, the rabid dogs will bite each other, just like back then with Devil Mountain. Ha ha ha. Steward Zhuo, when do we move? Li Jingshan was eager for some action. The brothers can't take it anymore. They want to fight. After the Falcon Emperor stepped out, they all wanted a piece of the action against 8 emperors. Your order is what's keeping the Luo clan's army from marching on the Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor's lands and taking them. Hee. You're quite impulsive, Zhuo Fan glared. Luo clan's experts are to battle the sacred mountains. Before that, none can ever come out in the open. With the sacred mountains helping the 8 emperors, it will be even harder for us to take the sacred domain's lower areas. Boom, the sound of explosions echoed continuously, and the screeching of eagles pierced the ears as ghostly shadows howled. The Falcon Emperor and Wraith Emperor's sudden attack had not only thwarted the demonic emperor's army, but even regained 5 cities. All of this was because the Wraith Emperor had abandoned his own territory and joined forces with the Falcon Emperor. Although they both had few forces after the last great battle, their combined strength was still not to be underestimated, especially with 2 8 emperors leading the charge. Listening to the miserable cries and screams, the Falcon Emperor, riding atop a divine eagle, led the way and turned to Wraith Emperor with a friendly gesture. Brother Wraith, it's rare for you to put aside your territory and come to help me this time. I'm extremely grateful. No need to thank me, Brother Falcon. We can't hold on our own, so we joined forces to fight back. After we take demonic emperor's lands, we can just divide them. A few losses are nothing. With a gray cloud around him, the Wraith Emperor laughed. The Falcon Emperor nodded. Brother Wraith has remarkable insight. With the 2 of us working together, even the demonic emperor can't stop us. This time I've also informed the others, so we won't get caught off guard like before. It was Zhuo Fan who made a mess of things last time. Once we take the demonic emperor's lands, we need to deal with him to save us the trouble later. The Wraith Emperor's bloodthirst spiked. The Falcon Emperor nodded with a wicked smile. The kid was too cunning to be left by the demonic emperor's side. Bam! The 2 stepped over the corpses to arrive before a city gate. A mere wave blasted it to pieces. The 2 had smug looks. That marked the fall of the demonic emperor's 6th city, quite fast. Ha ha ha. Whoosh! An evil aura swept them just then. The army rushing into the city felt their hearts seizing and their blood ran cold. The Wraith Emperor frowned. Is this the demonic emperor's aura? It can't be. We saw him only recently. How can his aura be so evil and powerful? The Falcon Emperor was puzzled. The dreaded pressure grew stronger as a familiar and eerie voice echoed. Ha ha ha, Falcon Emperor, Wraith Emperor, you 2 codgers dare mess with my plans. Surrender now, it's really the demonic emperor. The 2 of them shouted in shock, looking at the creepy human wrapped in black energy, feeling a sense of urgency and madness from him. How did he end up like this? Zhao Chen struck first. Devil palm. Rustle, countless black palms fell down like meteorites, blasting the ground with booming explosions. Their joint forces howled before exploding in a shower of gore and blood, littering the place in their ghastly remains. Falcon's flight, wraithful sky, the 2 emperors didn't take chances, fighting back. Countless eagle cries and shadows filled the skies. Hundreds of them rushed at the gigantic palms. Amidst the explosions, however, their arts broke apart on contact. The emperors shook under the backlash, flung back. They spat blood and looked at Zhao Chen and saw dementia. This can't be, they gasped in disbelief. He overpowered us like nothing. Why is he so strong? What happened? The swirling black aura around Zhao Chen grew more intense. He couldn't contain his glee. Ha ha ha, decrepit relics. Now you know my strength. I am your executioner today. Die. Whoosh, Zhao Chen charged. Demonic Emperor, don't get cocky. You think you can take both of us. Humph, you don't have it in you. You think yourself your master, Zhuo Fan. They sneered, for surrender was still far off. They made signs and 2 golden auras shot from them. A 500-meter golden falcon and a 100-meter tall golden wraith appeared in the air, their imperial marks. Zhao Chen had a wicked grin. My master was the head of the 8 emperors, and now I shall follow in his footsteps, even surpassing him. From now on, people shall call demonic Emperor Zhao Chen the strongest, not Zhuo Fan. Ha ha ha. Whoosh. Zhao Chen shook and a black dragon flickering in golden lights shot into the sky. The black dragon was different from before, with a sinister darkness that sent shivers by just looking at it. Why is his imperial mark different? It looks darker and makes me uneasy. The Falcon Emperor was worried. The Wraith Emperor said, we don't have time for that. No matter how much it changed, we still need to destroy his imperial mark. The Wraith Emperor made a sign, and his Wraith imperial mark roared toward the black dragon. The Falcon Emperor gritted his teeth, making the golden falcon imperial mark follow. Bam! As the 3 imperial marks clashed, the deafening explosion shook the world. The Falcon Emperor and Wraith Emperor felt their hearts shuddering and coughed blood. How is this possible? They looked on with fear. How could both of our imperial marks be overpowered? They were also sporting heavy wounds. Looking up, their imperial marks were flung back. Zhao Chen had them shocked to the core. They were all emperors, but this gap was unheard of. Is he on the level of Zhuo Fan? Pa! They suddenly shook and felt their hearts seized. Their imperial marks flew back and were now coiled by a black tail coming from Zhao Chen's dragon. Demonic Emperor, what are you doing? The Falcon Emperor panicked. The imperial mark was their soul. While powerful, it was also prone to being damaged. They were uneasy seeing them captured. They had their imperial marks struggle, but the 2 couldn't break free. The 2 emperors shivered in fear. The black dragon roared, coiling around the 2 imperial marks tighter. Its sinister eyes shone with desire and malice, just like its owner. What, you ask? He. Zhao Chen wiped his drool. Relics like you dared to stop me from getting my ingredients, so now you'll take their place. As part of the 8 emperors, your power will be a great boon to mine, ha ha ha. From his crazed eyes, the 2 felt terror. Falcon Emperor cried out, Demonic Emperor, don't be rash. You started this while we're just defending. Let's just talk. The sacred mountains sent word that they would replace some of the 8 emperors. Causing trouble now will get you replaced. Sacred mountains? Zhao Chen raised an eyebrow. They're nothing. When I finish my training, they're finished. They think they can replace me. Humph, soon I'll have those fools kneel before me. They're utter garbage, ha ha ha. Madness, the 2 couldn't believe their ears. The demonic emperor was insufferably arrogant on top of being raving mad. The 2 made more signs. Scattered falcon feathers, wraith flight. The 2 muttered, then the golden eagle burst into a dazzling radiance, sending countless feathers in every direction. The wraith howled as gray images shot from its mouth. This made the 2 imperial marks to shrink, fading out as the emperors looked for an escape. Zhao Chen sneered, Humph, you found the wrong person to try those petty tricks on. Devouring demonic dragon. He made quick signs with his hands, and the black dragon turned into a black mist, swallowing all the feathers and the gray images. The emperors froze and winced, their hope of fleeing dashed. As they watched the black energy swirling and caging them, the 2 were grave. Zhao Chen cackled, Falcon Emperor, Wraith Emperor, you're beneath me. Just give up already and feed my cultivation. It's your honor to be a part of my rise to the sovereign stage, ha ha ha. Underworld, Zhao Chen shouted. A torrent of black mist surged, swallowing the sky. The 2 emperors shivered under the oppressive blackness. What is this? Why do I feel so weak and in pain? He's tampering with our marks. The Wraith Emperor cursed, Demonic Emperor, what the hell are you doing to our imperial marks? Zhao Chen shrugged, nothing much, just taking its power. Once I finish, they will dissipate and you along with them, hi. What? The emperors were terrified. They kept making signs with trembling hands in an attempt to break their marks free, to no avail. As their strength waned, Zhao Chen grew stronger. They had only one fate, to be sucked dry. The 2 plopped on the ground in convulsions as life was drained from their bodies. Zhao Chen felt his own strength surging with a manic grin, relishing in the moment with closed eyes. Sovereign cultivation methods are out of this world. I just need to keep cultivating and I can dominate sacred domain, ha ha ha. Shriek, a sudden cry came out of nowhere as a massive brown figure appeared. It slammed into the black mist and made a huge hole in it. Zhao Chen shuddered, with the brown figure turning out to be a huge eagle. It was now holding in its talons the wraith and the golden eagle. Well done, my precious. The 2 emperors felt they could stand again, with the Falcon Emperor praising the creature. The Wraith Emperor lit up. Is that your spirit animal? It came right on time. Let's just get our marks and flee. The Falcon Emperor made a sign and the Wraith Emperor copied him. Whoosh, the marks turned into a golden light and entered their bodies, making them breathe easier. Zhao Chen grimaced, seeing the brown eagle fleeing with killing intent. Damn pigeon, you're dead. Devil palm, boom. A gigantic palm 100 meters big shot for the eagle. It tried dodging, but it was too late. The palm grabbed it and the dark energy swirled around it. The emperors watched with terror as it turned to ash. SSS, what the hell is the demonic emperor practicing? It's horrible. Zhao Chen recalled the dragon into his body and snickered. The beast helped you live longer, but not much humph. Zhao Chen shot for the two. The emperors ran away on the spot, not caring about anything. Is the demonic emperor insane? How did he degenerate so much? A whistle came from behind and a palm caught up to them. Ha ha ha, you still think you can escape me with that speed? Fools, ha ha ha, why is he so fast? He's like another person. Falcon Emperor cried out. Wraith Emperor shot a palm at Falcon Emperor's shoulder. Sorry, brother Falcon, I will remember you. I will avenge you later. Bam. The Falcon Emperor stumbled under the attack and Zhao Chen grabbed his neck. Curse you, Wraith Emperor, using me as bait. You'll get yours. The Falcon Emperor cursed as the Wraith Emperor got further away. The Wraith Emperor was looking grim, blocking out his voice as he fled. Brother Falcon, sorry, it's better for one to live than both of us dying. Your sacrifice won't be in vain. Whoosh, the Wraith Emperor vanished in the distance. The Falcon Emperor's face shook. Zhao Chen grabbed his neck tighter. Is this your friendship? I'm touched. Hi. Demonic Emperor, don't kill me. I'll do anything, please. Whoosh, the Falcon Emperor was swallowed by the black mist. Minutes later, it dissipated and Falcon Emperor was turned into ashes. Humph, do anything. Do you take me for a fool to believe the 8 emperors? Ha ha ha, the demonic emperor cackled. The Falcon Emperor had a tragic end while the Wraith Emperor fled with heavy wounds. The demonic emperor's forces saw their lord's victory and rallied as they cheered. However, the demonic emperor waved his hand and sucked hundreds of people into the black mist, turning them to ashes. The people were frozen in fear. The demonic emperor snapped at them. Useless fools, fight. Get me more lands and more prisoners. It's either them or you who will become my ingredients, understand? Why yes, demonic emperor. The forces shivered as they marched on. The previous excitement was gone, now replaced by terror. They used to fight for the demonic emperor to make a name for themselves. Now they only fought to stay away from his insatiable appetite. They had to work hard to bring him more prey so they wouldn't end up being preyed on instead. Zhao Chen sneered as he roared. Zhuo Fan watched from afar, shaking his head. Li Jingshan chuckled. Steward Zhuo, the demonic emperor is getting foolish. He even talks about using people to cultivate. He isn't foolish, he's mad. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. Demon transformation art has made his strength spike, making him forget restraint. He will do anything to get more power. When heaven wants you dead, he first drives you insane until you lose all reason. The sacred mountains will pay him a visit soon. We just have to wait for his fall. Li Jingshan nodded. Any news from the dragons? Zhuo Fan asked. Li Jingshan bowed. Steward Zhuo, still nothing. You're impatient as well. No, it's that I still need to be patient and lay low. Zhuo Fan left. The demonic emperor defeated the Wraith Emperor and even killed the Falcon Emperor by himself. The enchanting empress cried out in shock at the report inside the jade slip. That's not possible. I had a hard fight with the Falcon Emperor, so how could he die so easily? And on 2 against 1, even the Wraith Emperor could hold his own against the Sword Emperor for a while. Mei Sangu was just as confused. Senior sister, the reality is that the Falcon Emperor died and the Wraith Emperor fled. The demonic emperor had taken over their lands. This proves he is the most powerful of the 8 emperors with his biggest domain. Was it one of Zhuo Fan's ploys that led to the Falcon Emperor's death? The enchanting empress was grave. Mei Sangu shook her head. Senior sister, I don't think so. The 3 fought in the open before an entire army. There's no room for deceit on the battlefield. Schemes aren't enough to make up for the 8 emperors' strength either. The kid can set all the traps he wants, but it'll still be impossible for him to force the 2 emperors into a corner with no escape. This only makes the even more suspicious. Did the demonic emperor take some powerful tonic to grow so incredibly strong? The enchanting empress remained skeptical. She then waved impatiently. Never mind, we still don't have any clues on young lord or who took King Cheng. I don't have the time to deal with 8 emperors' grudges. Senior sister is right, Mei Sangu bowed. A disciple walked in and bowed. Master, another jade slip arrived with a strong aura. We couldn't inspect it. It must be meant for Master's eyes. Wraith seal, the enchanting empress jerked. It's from the Wraith Emperor. The enchanting empress frowned and read it. She shouted in shock. The Wraith Emperor is calling all 8 emperors to Wraith Bamboo Forest for an important matter. It must have something to do with the war, Mei Sangu added. The enchanting empress nodded and walked out. Sangu, follow me. Since there's no lead on the young lord and King Cheng's situations, we'll see what's going on with the demonic emperor. The enchanting empress took off and Mei Sangu followed her. A month later, the two arrived before a dark and eerie bamboo forest packed tight with guards. There were countless tombstones as well. The enchanting empress reached a pavilion where people were already seated, with the Wraith Emperor acting as host. "Enchanting Empress, you're here." The Wraith Emperor stood and cupped his hands, gesturing, "Have a seat." The enchanting empress took the seat and asked, "Did you invite us because the demonic emperor killed the Falcon Emperor?" Everyone else focused on the Wraith Emperor's conflicted face with hard stares. The news was just too suspicious and worried them greatly. "Indeed, that's why I called you all here." The Wraith Emperor lamented. "The Falcon Emperor had a gruesome fate, not leaving behind even a body to bury. You aren't asking our help to seek revenge, are you?" the Sword Emperor asked. The Wraith Emperor shook his head. "Not at all. There's a long history between us 8 emperors. Friends can become enemies at the drop of the hat. Their demise is their own fault to bear. However, the Falcon Emperor's death is too strange. We have to figure it out before that lunatic sucks us all dry." Everyone shuddered. "Is the demonic emperor that strong? Rumors say that you two couldn't beat him and that the Falcon Emperor died in battle. Is that true? Is there another reason? What reason could there be? In a straight-up fight, we lost against him." The Wraith Emperor sighed. "The truth is we were weaker and so one died." Everyone tensed. The Sword Emperor squinted, finding it the hardest to believe. It threatened his position as the top of the 8 emperors. "If I were to join as well, I'll lose too?" "Sword Emperor." The Wraith Emperor chuckled. "Forgive my bluntness, but did you win against Zhuo Fan?" The Sword Emperor shook and winced. "Why bring up the dead? It's been thousands of years. Haven't we agreed to lay that to rest?" "Yeah, none of us want to recall that detestable demonic emperor. He was the true top of the 8 emperors, able to take on the rest of us. He was one a loner, but he had the power of entire armies." The Wraith Emperor took a deep breath. "We have to bring him up since another Zhuo Fan is here. We have to accept reality before it makes us suffer for it." Their eyes twitched and the Sword Emperor exclaimed, "Where are you going with this? You mean to tell me Zhao Chen is like his master?" "Humph, no way. Zhuo Fan's talent was the most incredible outside the sacred mountains. Some said he'd attain peak sainthood if he went to the sacred mountains, if not sovereign stage. Zhao Chen is petty and reckless. He could never attain a tenth of his master's strength all these years. Humph. Sword Emperor, you still can't accept that times have changed for the very worst." The Wraith Emperor spoke in a grave tone, with the others becoming serious as well. Wraith Emperor continued, "This meeting with Zhao Chen was like seeing another person. He used to be cunning and outrageous, but he had restraint. Now he's simply insane, wild, and mad. He doesn't care about anything, not even us. He said he'll take on even the sacred mountains." Humph, someone sneered and the others shook their heads. However, the Wraith Emperor grinned. "He has good reason for saying it. You would feel the same thing if you saw him." The lunatic was confident. His strength grew so much he even killed the Falcon Emperor. He's catching up to Zhuo Fan. "Do you have any clues? Look for yourselves." The Wraith Emperor took out a pouch, letting it spill on the table. "What do you think it is?" "Dust, people." "Yes." The Wraith Emperor stressed every word. "I found out that he is using people to cultivate. After our battle, he admitted it himself. He only started the war to get more ingredients. The Falcon Emperor turned to ashes because of this." "What?" Everyone gaped. "Using people to cultivate is forbidden in the sacred domain. It will incur the world's wrath." Struck down swiftly. "Isn't he afraid that the sacred mountains will hunt him down?" "I told you he doesn't care about them. He also mentioned that he will become a sovereign soon, that the sacred mountains would be nothing by then." "Sovereign," they all shouted. There had been no new sovereign since ancient times. What gave him the gall to say he will become one? None in the sacred mountains could claim that either. Before becoming one, even a peak saint would end up killed once surrounded. How could he commit such cruel acts? The Sword Emperor muttered, "There are only 2 ways to become sovereign, through enlightenment, though there has never been any record of anyone achieving it since ancient times, and a sovereign's inheritance." Everyone exclaimed, "He found one." The Wraith Emperor nodded. "It's very possible." What kind of art could double his strength in such a short time? This proves his arrogance. By getting a sovereign's inheritance, becoming one is only a matter of time. Of course he would hate the sacred mountains. This piece, the enchanting empress noticed something in the dust, taking out a piece of clothing. Wraith Emperor explained, "I collected this from the remains of people he used for cultivation. It seems his art turns not only soul and body to dust, but clothes as well. It's similar to the ones I found on young Lord." "Maybe," the enchanting empress nodded. "So you did this, demonic emperor? You're finished. Once the mountain lord knows you." "Everyone," the Sword Emperor's grave voice echoed, "we will have to join forces once more, just like when we faced Zhuo Fan and deal with Zhao Chen. Do you still remember the past? Because of the arrival of a saint, Zhuo Fan destroyed the records and detonated. This time, we must keep this a secret if we want to get our hands on the sovereign's inheritance. Why bother doing someone else's job?" Everyone nodded and turned to the enchanting empress in unison. Her face twitched and she finally nodded under peer pressure. The sky was dim and drizzling rain fell incessantly. A figure clad in a black robe walked on the quiet mountain. Before long, the figure arrived at a pavilion. Looking around, they muttered to themselves, "Why haven't they arrived yet? Ha ha ha, Steward Zhuo, we've been here waiting for you." 5 people showed up before the man in black. They were the Sword Emperor and 4 more of the 8 emperors. The black robe chuckled and revealed himself to be Zhuo Fan. "It's rare to have the distinguished 8 emperors give me such an honor, inviting me, the demonic emperor's steward, in secret." "Steward Zhuo, there's no need for pleasantries. You've done well coming alone. Take a seat." The Sword Emperor gestured at a stone table. The others sat as well. Zhuo Fan shook the water off his robe and took his seat. He began, "Gentlemen, what is the purpose of this secret invitation? Calling me here discreetly, even avoiding contact with the demonic emperor. You didn't tell him?" "Of course not." Zhuo Fan saw the Sword Emperor nervous and smiled. "The demonic emperor is a busy man and need not trouble himself with such trifles. What would be the point of having me then? I am here to address what I can handle." "Right, Steward Zhuo is a man of great skill, able to deal with many things in his stead, ha ha ha." The Sword Emperor nodded. Zhuo Fan got to the point. "Sir still hasn't answered my question. Why the secret meeting?" "I'm but a steward and have little power. You're better off talking with the demonic emperor." No, we wanted you." The Sword Emperor snickered. "Steward Zhuo, before we begin, I would like to know whether the demonic emperor has been strange lately." "Strange? No, what's so strange about winning?" Zhuo Fan raised an eyebrow and the Wraith Emperor grimaced. The Sword Emperor waved his hand. "Steward Zhuo is a smart man and should know what I mean. I didn't ask you here to pull the demonic emperor's secrets out of you. I'm only curious about his condition. Even you should know his madness and cruelty on the battlefield were terrifying. This madness can spread and you might find it unleashed on his closest aide." Zhuo Fan looked confused. Now that the Sword Emperor mentions it, the demonic emperor has been strange lately. Strange how? "He's more secretive, spending his days in seclusion, demanding prisoners and growing his lands. The constant war had taken its toll on his forces, but he still wants to go on. I have to say that the ones trying to advise him against it were executed, except me. Why does he want so many prisoners? Is he practicing some sinister art?" The Sword Emperor stirred as he asked. Zhuo Fan was silent. The Sword Emperor asked something else. "Zhuo Fan, when did the change start?" "I'm not sure." Zhuo Fan shook his head. "Ever since I came from the Nether Sea, I needed a few months to recover from my injuries before returning to Devil Mountain. The demonic emperor has been like this ever since I saw him. After the Nether Sea, the 5 emperors' eyes shone with excitement. The guy must have gotten the Nether Sovereign's treasure. That's what made him so erratic. He has been secretive all this time, wanting it all for himself, just like Zhuo Yifan." The 5's purpose was clear. The enchanting empress said coyly, "Steward Zhuo, you must have done well under the demonic emperor, his temper considering." "I got by." Zhuo Fan smiled. "The demonic emperor may be harsh on others, he treats me with respect. Why else did all his advisors die except for me? Ha ha ha." The enchanting empress nodded. "Steward Zhuo is a man of great talent. No one would ever wish to part with such an aide. But did you ever think that while he is using you now, the day might come when your value runs out? What do you think he'll do then? I believe I'll always be of use." Zhuo Fan spoke with pride. The others' faces sank. Despite his poor strength, he is still prideful. The 8 emperors snickered on. "Steward Zhuo's wisdom is something to admire. I believe that the 8 emperors, even saints, would cherish a talent such as you. But true power trumps any cunningness. When someone grows beyond everyone else in power, what use would he have of your wisdom? What are you saying?" Zhuo Fan flinched, his smile slipping. The enchanting empress nodded, driving her point. "Steward Zhuo must know why the demonic emperor is so strong. He will only get stronger still until his use of you would run out. When every enemy is dead, what's the point of keeping a steward? One should have contingencies for the future, Steward Zhuo. Do you understand?" Zhuo Fan squinted. "Steward Zhuo." The Wraith Emperor spoke up. "Your talent makes you better than the 8 emperors despite not being one. Any emperor who has you by their side would be at the level of the 8 emperors. You are the unsung emperor. While the demonic emperor would have long since fallen without you. Last time, the Falcon Emperor and I joined forces, and it was enough to deal with him. Are you willing to waste away under someone else only to be cast aside in the end?" Zhuo Fan took a deep breath and looked at the sky. "Tell me, what are you planning? We hope you'd help us get rid of Zhao Chen." Now that Zhuo Fan saw their point, the Sword Emperor grew impatient in his joy. A sudden assault on the demonic emperor would only scare him off into hiding. "That's why we have to do it in secret. The demonic emperor is paranoid, making it impossible for an outsider to do anything, especially on Devil Mountain. With so many defensive arrays, not even we could slip in undetected. With the demonic emperor in seclusion and all his forces on Devil Mountain under Steward Zhuo's supervision, you just need to clear us a path." Zhuo Fan nodded. What's in it for me? The throne among the 8 emperors beckons you. The 8 emperors laughed at his changed stance. We will elect you as a new emperor among us, even though you're not in the emperor stage. But anyone in your clan can take the seat and be under your control. It will hardly make a difference and will only allow you to sit with us. The puppet is only for others to see, just an honorary title. Can I trust you? We will vow on our Tao hearts. I also told the 6 sacred mountains lord. He agreed. Even if they send replacements for the 8 emperors, they'll never touch you. You're protected. The 8 emperors gave a firm nod. It's a promise none of us have. We might all be replaced, but not you. The others nodded, goading him. You have all the guarantees you can have, so why hesitate? We're so jealous of you, having the sacred mountain at your back. Are you just going to work for the demonic emperor all your life just for him to kill you in the end? Zhuo Fan sneered inside at their urging. The term might look enticing to the ignorant. The chance to remain among the 8 emperors for all your life without the risk of being thrown away. But if you think about it, those old 8 emperors would care about this title once this matter is done. Their eyes are on the sovereign stage, all thanks to a sovereign's inheritance. Why would they waste time on empty titles? These relics sure know how to plot. Zhuo Fan was hoping for this. Regardless, the more they yearned for it, the better. So he stroked his chin as he smiled. When will you act, gentlemen? The 5 laughed. Zhuo Fan grinned a devious smile, his eyes icy. You must have enticed that rotten disciple back then as well, I bet, Humph. A month later, inside Devil Mountain, Zhuo Fan came before a stone door. Demonic Emperor, sir, we've taken 3 cities and 2350 prisoners. Send them in already, a gruff voice echoed, followed by loud booms as the stone door rumbled open. Zhuo Fan walked in. Zhao Chen was panting like a beast, his eyes bloodshot from madness as he roared, "Where are they? Give them to me." Whoosh, people appeared in the dark room out of nowhere, covering the floor. Zhao Chen's eyes were frenzied, setting his black energy on them like a tide to consume them. He was too deep into his madness and thirst to cultivate to notice Zhuo Fan smirking as he left. His own aide didn't even say goodbye. Corpse explosion, a cold shout boomed and the black energy released a terrifying ripple. Zhao Chen jumped to his feet, slow to react. Boom, the explosions were endless, all over the black energy, sending deadly shockwaves all around. The blasts were so strong they flattened the top of Devil Mountain. Thick dust spread around, swallowing all the eerie, yet lavish buildings below. Whoosh, the wind whistled as someone moved through the thick dust, landing on the ground and soaking it with his blood. The Wraith Emperor, Zhao Chen raised his sinister face, his eyes bleeding, and roared, "Wraith Emperor, I'm going to pulverize you for what you did." "Ha ha ha, but what about the others?" A cackle responded as 5 figures landed before him, the other 5 emperors. Zhao Chen's eyes flashed, staring hard at them. "So decrepit fools like you ganged up just so to play me? I should have known none of you are worth crap. First you ganged up on my master and now on me. Zhao Chen, did you already forget about your share when we attacked your master? Don't call us evil when it suits you. You're no better," the Sword Emperor mocked him. The Wraith Emperor cackled, "Zhao Chen, don't be quick to insult others when you're just as vile. It's so poetic if you think about it. This is karma for everything you did to your master, ha ha ha." "Karma," Zhao Chen exclaimed. "You couldn't have entered my lands without someone finding out, especially on Devil Mountain. There are countless arrays on it that would react to your coming. What is going on?" All looked at him with disdain, turning to one side and making Zhao Chen look there as well. He gasped, Yes, it is I, Demonic Emperor, sir." Zhuo Fan smirked with a bow. "I'm thankful for all your care in giving me final word over your lands and Devil Mountain so that I could get the 8 emperors inside." "Forgive me," Zhao Chen's face twitched. "Zhuo Fan, you rotten traitor, I've given you everything and this is how you repay me, by selling me out, goddamn bastard." Zhao Chen shook and a powerful aura shot for Zhuo Fan. A huge black palm loomed over him. Zhuo Fan paled and fled back. The Sword Emperor intervened, striking with his sword, Skybreaker. Whoosh, a blinding light flashed and turned into a 300-meter sword, clashing with the huge black palm. Boom, the sky rumbled under their power, with the Sword Emperor frowning and falling back 10 steps and looking at the other in shock. Zhao Chen shuddered and coughed blood. "Sword Emperor, how is it?" The others rushed to his side, looking at Zhao Chen in worry. It was beyond their expectation to find that Zhao Chen was stronger than him, just like Zhu Yifan. "A sovereign's inheritance is so incredible," the Sword Emperor panted, looking grave. "He's not the same old weak brat. We have to be careful. It's fortunate we acted in time and gave him heavy wounds, or it would be us who'd pay the price later." Zhao Chen raged as he glared. "Zhuo Fan," Zhao Chen's face was covered in blood. "I've been nothing but good to you. Why would you sell me out? I'm wounded because you let the Wraith Emperor fiddle with the corpses and trigger the trap as I absorbed them. What's an ungrateful bastard still doing standing here?" Zhuo Fan stepped up. "Demonic Emperor, sir, everyone has a price. I came under your wing for a career, but as you become stronger and stronger, one day you won't need me. I'd avoid being expendable, and the 8 emperors' terms are quite enticing, making me one of them forever. I had no reason to refuse, so haha, forgive me. Screw your apology, you're dead for betraying me. Zhao Chen struck with a palm, a black dragon enveloping him. He was going to kill them all, especially Zhuo Fan. Steward Zhuo, not to worry, he can't harm you. The Sword Emperor shouted, shielding a sneering Zhuo Fan. They said the same thing to Zhao Chen then, but didn't they still attack him now? Their promise isn't worth crap. The others surrounded Zhuo Fan to shield him, unaware of his thoughts. When Zhao Chen drew closer, they struck. Zhao Chen, you dare mention others when you betrayed your own master. Compared to Steward Zhuo's act, yours is heresy. You have no right to speak. I can betray while no one else can betray me. Zhao Chen focused all his strength into his palms, making the dragon roar and shoot at them. I'll refine all of you with the nether script, ha ha ha. You won't succeed. The Sword Emperor released his imperial mark, decimate supreme sword. Haunt, elusive wraith, unite heaven and earth, enchanting jasper. Whoosh, 5 imperial marks took the skies, making contact with the black dragon in a resounding explosion. A hole got punched in the endless darkness, bringing light. The 6 imperial marks coming together felt like the sacred domain was going to crumble. The 5 shuddered back with red faces and blood at their mouths. Zhao Chen got pushed back a dozen steps and spat so much blood he soaked the ground. The Wraith Emperor laughed. Zhao Chen, we know your cultivation method is great, but you won't get to refine us so long as we don't let you surround our soul. We just need to match your every blow with all our strength. In your condition, you won't be able to take the shock. A few more times and your body will break. Demonic Emperor, give it up, it's over. Give up? Zhao Chen frowned, his eyes filled with resentment. He stared at them and let out a creepy laughter. Surrender, is it? Ha, never gonna happen. Once I heal, I will come back for each and every last one of you. The last thing you'll see is me, ha ha ha. The Sword Emperor sneered. Demonic Emperor, we have you surrounded and you still think of fleeing. Just hand over the cultivation method you got from the Nether Sea and we can forget about this. Cultivation method. I just knew it. The only reason all of you got together is over something to gain, just like last time. Zhao Chen shook his head. Well, too bad. I'm not my master and you won't ever catch me, ha ha ha. Zhao Chen released black energy as he laughed. The Sword Emperor made a sign and cut with his finger. You won't get the chance to flee. Whoosh, a blinding white light flashed across the sky, severing the black energy. They watched as it revealed no one inside. Zhao Chen was gone just like that. What just happened? The Sword Emperor stared hard at Zhuo Fan. Steward Zhuo, you're of a brilliant mind and have been by the Demonic Emperor's side the longest. What was that? Zhuo Fan frowned. The Demonic Emperor must have had an escape ready outside of my knowledge. What's certain is that his act was a distraction. He can't just vanish. There must be a tunnel around here somewhere. Yes, Steward Zhuo is right. Find it, the Sword Emperor shouted, and everyone began searching. Zhuo Fan looked around as well. It took them a whole 6 hours before the enchanting Empress cried in excitement. Come quick, I found it. In a hidden bush, a deep hole was hidden. I'll take the lead, you follow. The Sword Emperor went on without fear, but Zhuo Fan raised a hand. He said, don't bother, he's been gone for 6 hours, we won't catch him. We at least have a trail now. You think he'd leave a clue behind after what happened to him? Zhuo Fan raised an eyebrow. The others frowned, looking dark. The Wraith Emperor said, the Demonic Emperor has to die before he gets us instead. The others' hearts sank. One had to be ruthless to remove all needless trouble, especially with such a powerful expert around. He had to be removed at once. Steward Zhuo, what do you think? Zhao Chen is sure to take his first revenge on you, the enchanting Empress asked. The other turned to him. Zhuo Fan used his smarts to get the 8 emperors to respect him. His opinion mattered. Zhuo Fan smiled. He can't run anyway. What does that mean? We can't use this tunnel to find him, but think of his situation. With him badly wounded, no matter how well he hides his tracks, he'll need to heal. And with his cultivation method, he needs people. The enchanting Empress lit up. We just need to keep a close eye on the people in every area. The moment many are missing, then that's where he must be. Zhuo Fan nodded. That's the idea. They all nodded with smiles. Steward Zhuo is brilliant. It's good he's weak, or he'd be the strongest among us, with none his match. Let's split up and search while paying attention to the population. The Sword Emperor proposed, and the others agreed, scattering. Only Zhuo Fan was left behind with a smirk. A strict inspection began across the 8 emperors' lands. With Zhao Chen missing and the 5 emperors' support, Zhuo Fan took over all of Demonic Emperor's land's affairs. Every elite of the Luo clan got sent to grab all the power, taking it over. All now listened to Zhuo Fan's orders. A month went by in peace when shocking news came from the border between the Demonic Emperor and enchanting Empress lands. A whole city was gone. The 5 emperors shuddered and rushed to inspect. Zhuo Fan was going someplace else. Rustle 5 miles from Devil Mountain, in a valley overgrown with fauna, a frail figure struggled to walk through the damp forest with shaky steps, barely reaching a cave. The man shook the water off him and took a deep breath in excitement. His gaunt finger rubbed a ring, filled with satisfaction. "I just knew you'd come here." The man shuddered at the voice, looking forward to seeing someone leaning on the cave wall and enjoying tea. "Zhuo Fan?" "Yes, demonic emperor, sir," Zhuo Fan sneered. The gaunt figure's messy hair blew to the side and revealed a raging expression. He was looking far thinner now, but with a thicker black energy around him, just like a monster. "How did you find me?" "I left no trace to this hideout." "Easy," Zhuo Fan smiled. "Didn't you used to come here in your younger days? You'd start crying after every beating you got, hiding from the world. Yet someone was always by your side." Zhao Chen gasped in fright. How do you know about that?" Zhuo Fan smiled and sipped his tea. Zhao Chen grew dark, then mocked. "Steward Zhu, you're alone? Why yes, have you seen anyone around here?" "Ha ha ha, how ridiculous. Where did your crafty mind go? You actually came alone to find me. You're nothing but a bugs. You found me, but now you'll die here. Do I need to tell anyone? You can't kill me, ha ha ha," Zhuo Fan said. Zhao Chen gnashed his teeth. "I can't, humph, I kept you alive for so long because of your talent. But now you'll pay for your betrayal." "Devil palm," Zhao Chen struck with a 10-meter large black palm. The eerie pressure bore on Zhuo Fan, making the entire cave tremble along with the mountain. Zhuo Fan merely waved it off. Whoosh, the black palm vanished. Zhao Chen jerked and the black dragon came out, this time his imperial mark. Zhuo Fan flicked. With a muffled sound, the dragon was sent flying into Zhao Chen and forcing the latter a dozen steps back. He coughed blood and shuddered from the wounds. "How? Why you're at chi condensation stage?" "Wrong, I'm at peak emperor stage like you." Zhuo Fan sipped his tea. Zhao Chen's eye twitched. "Peak emperor? No, there's no way you could disregard my attack if that were so." "I'm one of the mighty 8 emperors," Zhuo Fan snickered. "But since you asked instead, I'll tell you. Be it the Wraith Art or Devil Palm, they all stem from my teaching you. Breaking them can't be easier." Zhao Chen's mind shuddered, looking at Zhuo Fan like he saw a ghost. Who the hell are you?" "Who do you think?" Zhuo Fan's eyes shone as he stared at Zhao Chen. Zhao Chen's face twitched, stammering, "That's not possible. Master died, detonating his soul. He can't be alive." "True, Zhuo Yifan couldn't have survived with his soul destroyed, could he?" Zhuo Fan smiled. "He died, but his yearning lived on, passed on to a dying youth in a strange coincidence as the second Zhuo Yifan." "No, it should be just his thoughts that passed on. In the end, Zhuo Fan is not Zhuo Yifan." Zhao Chen's face twitched, looking confused. "What does that mean? Are you Zhuo Yifan or Zhuo Fan?" "Both. The Zhuo Yifan of before is the Zhuo Fan of today." Zhuo Fan mocked. "Fool, didn't you always want to know the 9 Serenity's secret records? This is one of its skills, yearning rebirth. Humans aren't just flesh and soul, but also of mind and desires. You are what your heart is." Zhao Chen shuddered, staggering back into the wall. "Why your master?" Zhuo Fan smirked. "Spare me, master. I was forced to do that. They made me. Please let me live." Zhao Chen plopped to the ground and kowtowed and whined. "They are the ones who you should take your anger on, not me. Give me any command and I shall follow it." Bang! Zhao Chen kept knocking his head on the stone. Zhuo Fan merely smiled, yet his expression was devoid of sympathy. Once Zhao Chen got to his 100th banging, Zhuo Fan sighed. "Idiot, who told you I wanted revenge on you?" Master, why you'll let me go?" Zhao Chen perked up with hope. Zhuo Fan grinned. "We're master and disciple. I know they lured you after I've experienced their tactics. I could never blame you." "Master, thank you so much." Zhao Chen went back to banging his head in gratitude. Zhuo Fan continued. "Well, did you like cultivating the demon transformation art?" "The demon transformation art?" Zhao Chen was puzzled. "Isn't it the Nether script?" "Why, the demon transformation art is 9 Serenity's secret record's highest cultivation method. As a seeker of the demonic path, I of course would train in this cultivation method. How could I pass on to my disciple the Nether Sovereign's art?" "Oh, I see. Master passed on to me the 9 Serenity's secret records. Thank you, Master, thank you." Zhao Chen was overjoyed. Whether the Nether Sovereign or demonic sovereign, it was all the same to him. Zhuo Fan said, "You haven't answered me. How was the cultivation method?" "It's incredible, Master. My strength multiplied in just a few months. I believe in just a few more I'll become a saint, ha ha ha." Zhao Chen laughed with pride and madness. His face looked eerie with all the black energy around him. Zhuo Fan nodded. Whoosh, Zhao Chen went this way, no mistake. "Look at the spiritual signature. Only he could leave such thick demonic energy. He must be nearby." "It's them." Zhao Chen panicked. "How did they find me? I'm sure I've removed all traces." "Idiot." Zhao Chen found Zhuo Fan's gaze to be that of a scolding parent. "Master, what can I do for you? Didn't you say you wanted to obey me? Now go and kill them to redeem yourself." Zhuo Fan spoke. "Atone for your betrayal and we will once again be master and disciple." Zhao Chen was thrilled. "Yes, master, understood." He rushed out on the spot under Zhuo Fan's gaze. "You never change, foolish disciple." Sword Emperor, you fools actually came to find me. Now you shall all die, ha ha ha. The Sword Emperor's team was looking around the mountain when Zhao Chen shouted with confidence, covered in a black energy so thick it wilted the nature around him. The five gasped at his appearance, going at him with full power. Zhao Chen, hand it over, today will be your last. Planning on stealing my cultivation method? Why not die instead, ha ha ha. Zhao Chen disregarded the five in his madness, unleashing black palms at the two like rain, devil palm. Skybreaker, dazzling petals, wailing wraith. The five emperors struck back as well. The earth shook and the sky trembled under their might. Rocks fell in the black cave while the mountains around the area were reduced to dust. Plop under the huge backlash, each of them had their meridians strained. The Sword Emperor's group coughed blood and looked weakened. Zhao Chen also spat foul blood, but he still cackled, jumping back at them with all he had, despite his wounds. Boom, the devil palms finally thwarted the five emperors, with Zhao Chen looming over the defeated with a smug grin. Ha ha ha, I just have to kill them and then Master will forgive me. With the demonic sovereign's cultivation method, the world will be ours, he he he. Blood rushed out of Zhao Chen's mouth as he spoke, soaking him in it. His mind was focused on the Sword Emperor's group, closing in for the kill. The guys totally lost it. The enchanting empress looked tense. He's badly wounded yet still wants to fight us. He doesn't care about death. That's what makes it so frightening when fighting lunatics. You never know what they're capable of. The Sword Emperor's face shook, looking at Zhao Chen in fear. What's wrong with him? There's no order to his actions, only savagery as he stakes his life. With that cultivation method, he should be cautious, so why risk himself? Why has he gone mad? Damn it, I don't want to die at the hands of a deranged cultivator. The five watched as Zhao Chen got closer and closer. Zhao Chen had lost his mind, showing his bloody teeth as he stepped forth. Die, old fools, ha ha ha. The malevolent and terrifying Zhao Chen up and froze in mid-strike. The five watched with horror as black energy rushed around him. From inside, wails of agony and terror leaked like that of a beast. Aha. Zhao Chen flayed on the ground in pain before the shocked faces of the emperors. What's wrong with him? Zhao Chen's words left them baffled and shivering. Master, what's happening? Save me, Master. Master, what is he talking about? It can't be Zhuo Fan, right? The enchanting empress raised an eyebrow. Didn't he die thousands of years ago? Why would he be calling his name? The Sword Emperor looked hard at the black energy and the flaying figure. I got it. His cultivation had been taken so extreme he went insane. He must be feeling guilty about Zhuo Fan and is hallucinating. He wants to atone and that's why he calls out. The others found it logical. Zhao Chen had betrayed his master and gotten him killed. He had risen to his master's position as the new demonic emperor, but he had always been feeling guilty for his actions. So this is because his cultivation went astray. They all enjoyed Zhao Chen's torment and agony, even as he squirmed. Zhao Chen wasn't spewing nonsense out of delusions, but really asking for his master's help. However, he should be thankful Zhuo Fan didn't finish the degenerate himself. Idiot, Zhuo Fan sent in Zhao Chen's ear, who flopped on the ground. Master, save me. Can you tell me now what you discovered cultivating the demon transformation art? Help did not come, only Zhuo Fan's question. Zhao Chen was confused. Zhuo Fan said, now you know why I didn't give you the 9 Serenities secret records. You're too greedy and without restraint. The demon transformation art speeds up cultivation, but do you think it'd be easy just by stealing others' efforts? Every time you steal, you must refine and clean your yuan qi, especially when it comes to taking a person's soul and regrets. It would affect your body and eat you from the inside. I was wrong, Master. I shouldn't have rushed it. Please save me. No, you're only half wrong. Zhuo Fan smiled. Even if you trained right, the demon transformation art wouldn't show its effect on you. Because it isn't complete. What? I omitted the cultivation method's very first warning to renounce your old cultivation before starting anew. Zhuo Fan sighed. The demon transformation art wants you to absorb another person's cultivation, and for that you must start afresh to succeed, or the old will mingle with the new and make progress impossible. The more you absorb, the more you err and the stronger the backlash. Then you, Zhao Chen exclaimed. Zhuo Fan smirked. Yes, I feared you'd not live up to my expectations, so I tinkered with it. You never had the chance of using it right. On the other hand, you're impatient and would have failed even if I gave you the real deal. I did it just to be safe. Ha ha ha, so you came to take revenge on me. Zhao Chen cackled as he lay on his back, the dark energy surrounding him and disintegrating his legs. The pain was excruciating, but he had empty eyes full of despair. The 5 emperors were shocked. Now what's going on? Why did he stop? Zhao Chen's expression was flat. Master, you have the strength to take revenge on all the 8 emperors. Why did you go to such lengths? Fool, you're my disciple. It's your duty to have a taste of the same death I had. Also, letting you practice the demonic sovereign's cultivation method is to show you my inner conflict back then. Or you'd still curse me for being selfish even in death and that you were right to betray me. Zhao Chen's mouth trembled as he teared up. The demonic sovereign's cultivation method is enticing but also deadly. It looks fast, but it tests your patience. Without self-control, the ending is the same one I'm having. The demon transformation art was the demonic sovereign's top cultivation method, truly demonic. I should have cleared my mind of all demons first before even attempting it. Master, I'm sorry, Zhao Chen cried in regret. Zhuo Fan sighed, despite being late, you understand in the end. You can give the devil's fruit to others. Master, you trust me that much. Fool, you think I don't know you. What kind of demonic emperor would you be if not taking others down with you? Ha ha ha, yeah, the revenge isn't just for me alone to carry. Zhao Chen sneered and resisted the pain as he made his ring flash to reveal a jade slip. Let me help you, master, in taking revenge by dragging all these fools to hell. You're the only one I ever respected, master, while holding hatred for them. Wu Zhao Chen lifted his hand and threw the jade slip right before the five's eyes. They all looked puzzled. Didn't you want it? Just like thousands of years ago, humph. Zhao Chen let out an eerie smirk. The others scrambled to get it first. The Sword Emperor, the eldest and the most hurt, turned out to be the fastest, holding the jade slip to his chest. The other four looked ready to fight him for it. Hey, Sword Emperor, don't hog it all. We're in this together. Sword Emperor, hand it over or you'll be sorry. Wait, the Sword Emperor shouted, startling them and barking. We don't know if it's real or not. Let me check it first. The others agreed, but their eyes never left the old man out of their sights, afraid he might make off with it. The Sword Emperor scanned the jade slip and his eyes lit up. Yes, it's the nether script he shouted about. What are you waiting for? Let me see. The Wraith Emperor and the others were too impatient, but the Sword Emperor held a hand up. Don't get too excited. We need to clarify things first. Save it and hand it over. Do you plan to have it all for yourself? Stop spouting nonsense. Of course we must clarify things. Why did he just give it to us? Zhu Yifan took it to his grave. The other looked at Zhao Chen with doubts. Zhao Chen had the black energy disintegrating him still. There's nothing odd about it, but it's the real deal. Or do you want my ring? You'll take it anyway once I die. As I am now, I can't take the cultivation method with me like my master did. Might as well give it to you so the sovereign's inheritance isn't lost. Zhao Chen threw them his ring. They scanned it and found it empty. The Sword Emperor nodded. All are honest before death. Zhao Chen, you're wiser than your master. Wise, ha ha ha, as if I just want to know what you plan to do with it. The Sword Emperor gave him a look. Why do you want to know? The nether script is a sovereign cultivation method, but there's evil hidden inside, a hungry devil for thousands of years. My death is warranted, but who among you will be next? Ha ha ha. Zhao Chen cackled like a demon from hell as the black energy turned him to dust. The five shivered, not understanding Zhao Chen's last cry. Not that it mattered, since they had their wish, a sovereign's inheritance at long last. All their eyes were consumed by greed. Sword Emperor, each of us will hold a copy of it and cultivate. You can't, the Sword Emperor refused. The other four glared at him. You want it all for yourself. You saw Zhao Chen's end. Do you want to end up the same? The Sword Emperor pointed at the ashes. The others were solemn. Emperor gave them a cold glare. Zhao Chen cultivated it and went insane. We all saw how that went. It must be that we struck just as he trained, driving him mad and the cultivation method backlashing. Having others interrupt our cultivation would destroy us as well. What do you propose, Sword Emperor? Do you plan on killing everyone that knows about it, even Zhuo Fan? The Wraith Emperor added. The Sword Emperor shook his head. I have no suggestion. It'd be easy to kill Zhuo Fan, but then the Luo clan will know. We can kill the Luo clan, but then the demonic emperor's lands would be without a head, succumbing to chaos and drawing the sacred mountain's attention. Furthermore, the sacred mountains intend to replace the 8 emperors, so could we remove them as well? It's more than clear how impossible it is. Then how should we handle it? From Zhao Chen's cultivation, training in nether script has 2 problems. One is time, needing a long and undisturbed period of cultivation. That means we need to enter seclusion, where no one can find us. Then the second is resources that contradicts the first. We need to find a populated area, and that would mean leaving trails that would expose us, just like it did to Zhao Chen. Should we wage war like Zhao Chen? The Wraith Emperor proposed. We can fake conflict and use the war to gather materials. They all nodded. Great idea. It had to be a genius who came up with this grand idea. Oh, that was demonic Emperor's aide, Zhuo Fan. The enchanting Empress shook her head. No, while no one else knows, Zhuo Fan will. But like the Sword Emperor said, taking him out will lead to drawing the sacred mountain's attention. And they warned us not to repeat the past. Zhuo Fan did it because he threatened the 6th sacred mountain. We don't have that leverage. What now? The Wraith Emperor frowned. This won't do, and neither would that. Are we just going to not use this top cultivation method? The Sword Emperor smiled. Only a fool would do that. It all depends whether you are willing to give up your status. What do you mean? Like I said, we need solitude for this art, with only us knowing about it, even from each other. Everyone is aware of our little tricks. We part today never to contact each other again so that we don't frame each other and ruin ourselves. They all raised an eyebrow, nodding. All right, then what about materials? We're 8 emperors with large domains. We can just take from all of them. All of them, the enchanting empress shook. With so many people missing, it will catch the attention of the sacred mountains. The sword emperor sneered. This is what I want to warn you about. Do you have the gall to abandon your status as one of the 8 emperors? What? Yes, there will be widespread panic as people go missing en masse. It's impossible for us to remain as the 8 emperors. Losing the public's support, you will never be obeyed even with superior strength. Who in the world will stick to a man-eating devil? The sword emperor's eyes shone with malice, laughing. It's not pleasant, I know, but we need to become devils to train in this script. Be it righteousness or demonic, we all seek the path to the sovereign stage, the great Tao. A few millions should be enough. Once we step on the sovereign stage, what need do we have of being the 8 emperors? We can even disregard the sacred mountains. The sacred domain will be ours. The sword emperor painted a pretty and enticing picture. The others' gazes turned savage as well, nodding. They thus made copies of it, and each went to their sects without looking back. Like they said, the 8 emperors were now no more, but soon they would be the 5 sovereigns. They would meet next only as the rulers of the world, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan appeared where Zhao Chen disintegrated, grinning. Fool, the geezers bought it, they will soon join you. The 5,000 years long grudge is coming to a close, ha ha ha. He then vanished as well. A month later, on the renovated Devil Mountain, Li Jingxin rushed to Zhuo Fan with a smile. Steward Zhuo, it's just as you said. Those 5 emperors' domains are in a panic. Scores of people are missing overnight. Everything is in chaos. The Ruby Cloud Sect and the other sects have closed off from the mortal affairs. No one could get an audience with any of the 8 emperors. They are headless and panicking, he. They learned from Zhao Chen and think the best way to train is by running away. Now that the leaders are gone, we can take all of their lands. Zhuo Fan ordered, Elder Li, go ready the men. Wait, there's no war, just go take over. The Luo clan is more than experienced in dealing with local thugs. Li Jingxin slapped his chest in confidence. Steward Zhuo, in half a month, will give you all of the 8 emperors' lands. Once the dragons are ready, we'll be on equal footing with the sacred mountains, he. Zhuo Fan nodded. Q Yanhai flashed before the two. Old Q, what's wrong? Li Jingxin patted his shoulder. Q Yanhai rolled his eyes, bowing to Zhuo Fan and reporting, Steward Zhuo, there are 3 youths from the sacred mountains demanding an audience. They're waiting for the Luo clan. 3, Zhuo Fan asked. What stage? Peak emperors. Oh, they must be here to replace some of the 8 emperors. Zhuo Fan guessed. The sacred mountains are worried they can't restrain the mortals, so they sent 3 of them from the start. With the gambling emperor and falcon emperor dead, 2 spots are vacant. The demonic emperor is gone, but no one knows it, while the 5 remaining emperors will never come out. That leaves youths taking over the positions. Humph, we finally got the old fools to shirk their status, and now the sacred mountains came to spoil it. I'll go take their heads. Li Jingxin raged and stomped, but Zhuo Fan stopped him. Elder Li, it's fine. They're nothing but ignorant whelps. A few words from me and they will be in my control. Killing them will ruin things instead. Really? Li Jingxin blinked, but Steward Zhuo, those superior sacred mountains young masters are so obnoxious in their arrogance. They don't know anything about our world, yet they plan on ruling us. They won't just give their lands to us. Won't it be hard? Hard, no such thing. It's like taking candy from a baby, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan laughed. You said it yourself. They don't know anything and act arrogant. Then we will stroke their egos, giving them a little something, while the true power will be with the Luo clan, which is seasoned in handling the lands. The 3 raised an eyebrow, then cracked up. Zhuo Fan went to the Luo clan with Q Yanhai to see the young masters. Entering the main hall, they saw 2 youths taking the main seats and grimacing at each sip of tea. Another sat below, dangling his legs in boredom. Entitled pricks at their finest, they take the main seat in another's house and ignore everyone. Zhuo Fan restrained a smile, bowing, Oh, guests from the sacred mountains, forgive my delay. Do you have any idea how long we've waited? You're too damn slow, the youth in the main seat sneered. Zhuo Fan nodded. It's my mistake. It is my fault for being born with only 2 legs and unable to greet you on time. Ha ha ha, elder brother, hear that. Can you imagine a person with 4 legs? That was hilarious. The man in the main seat cracked up with the others joining him. The tense mood was gone in a blink. Luo Yuncheng and the girls listened in from outside and giggled. The sacred mountains sent paupers for the 8 emperors. Zhuo Fan was clearly sarcastic, yet they laughed. The scorn flew right over them. By sending these fools to be 8 emperors, the sacred mountains show their utter disregard for human lives beneath their feet. And they expect them to control the sacred domain. Murongzu lamented over the people's fate, being at the mercy of fools. Fan bowed with a smile. How may I address you, young masters? Su Tianchuan of the third sacred mountain, the leader spoke with his head held high. The second guy chuckled. Xiang Feng of the fifth sacred mountain, Wu Qingqiu of the seventh sacred mountain, the last one huffed. Zhuo Fan nodded at their self-important introduction. How may I help you young masters today? How? Su Tianchuan mocked. We hear that you're the demonic emperor's aide and most familiar with the 8 emperors. We came to see you so that we can understand the situation. Young masters, you honor me. It's nothing great, just, Su Tianchuan frowned. I'm sure you know why we're here. We 3 want to meet with the 8 emperors and discuss the circumstances of their domains, yet everywhere we went we found no one. We had no choice but to come to the demonic emperor, but we heard that Devil Mountain was flattened a few months ago. We reckoned that the demonic emperor had to be missing, so we came to you instead. To be frank, the 8 emperors don't look after their lands, going around all day long. Now they vanished out of nowhere. It's outrageous we had to run around all over the place until we could barely walk. The 3 grew angry. Zhuo Fan smiled and shook his head. Young masters, it's still not my place to speak. It's best to wait for them and clarify things. I'm sorry that I can't stay, but I must get back to work. Hold on, Su Tianchuan shouted. You look like you know something about this. Tell us. Young masters, I'm in no position to discuss the 8 emperors. Hey, I told you to speak. You fear them or us? The 3 glared. They're the 8 emperors, but we'll be part of them soon enough, but we're also part of the sacred mountains. Refuse us and your life is forfeit. Zhuo Fan gasped and played the frightened chicken under that threat. Young masters, how can I not say? Whoosh, the trio looked smugly at him. I only ask that you don't get angry. Zhuo Fan sighed. Young masters, a few months ago, the 8 emperors met and had a heated argument about your arrival at Devil Mountain. What did they argue about? Zhuo Fan smirked, argued about how to deal with sirs. What? Bam, they slapped the table in outrage. They have some nerve. Are they itching to die? Young masters, they knew their strength and couldn't be open about it. So they could only operate in hiding. How? Talk already. Who knows? Young masters came to replace some of the 8 emperors. Once this happens, there's no doubt that the sacred mountains will replace all of the 8 emperors. Zhuo Fan looked around and leaned over as he whispered. The Sword Emperor said to never let you succeed. Bam, Su Tianchuan slammed the table hard. Humph, what gall. They can do nothing against us controlling the lands. They don't need to stop you. As long as they don't do anything, you will just screw up naturally. What? Bam, Su Tianchuan punched the table. What did he mean? Hey, don't the sacred mountains entitled pricks know anything else besides hitting tables? Zhuo Fan's face twitched at the deep palm imprint in the table. He said young masters lack common sense and experience with the people below and will cause chaos. They just have to wait. Once you ruin everything, the sacred mountains will just call you back and ask them to clean up. That will make 8 emperors crucial to the sacred domain and to the sacred mountains. At the very least, they can't be replaced. Humph, as if those decrepit fools are too cocky. The trio laughed. We are all great talents of the sacred mountains, yet we can't control the meager lands of the emperors. Zhuo Fan nodded. Yeah, the demonic emperor thought the same, persuading others not to go against you, but he got pulled into hiding with them to force the mess on you, young masters. As a result, the demonic emperor refused and thus, what? They killed the demonic emperor. Zhuo Fan looked devastated. They said if the demonic emperor helped you, then the sacred mountains would get in their way and they would become enemies with the mountains, dying in the end. So they killed the demonic emperor and retreated. The disaster on Devil Mountain is proof of this. With 5 against 1, the demonic emperor had no chance. Bam, the 3 slapped the table again. Outrageous, they aren't loyal and stop others from being loyal to us as well. Are those bastards underestimating us? Humph, we'll look after your lands and set them straight. Just you wait. The trio flicked their sleeves and walked out with supreme confidence. Young masters, aren't you here to replace 3 emperors? This is the best chance. The gambling emperor and falcon emperor are gone, while the demonic emperor is dead as well. Young masters can just take their lands. You'll take it for now while we go after the 5 emperors' lands to settle. Su Tianchuan waved carelessly and laughed. We'll show those hiding fools how their lands will be peaceful without them. Nothing will change. They still want to be emperors. As if ha ha ha. The trio laughed and faded away. Zhuo Fan grinned in disdain. Bunch of fools is what you are. I'll be waiting here for you to come crying back. Wush Li Jingshan came over. Steward Zhu, should we continue our takeover with them taking over? Wait a few days. Zhuo Fan chuckled. Once they send the lands into chaos, we have the perfect reason to take them for ourselves. Ha ha ha. Li Jingshan snickered along. 3 months later, Devil Mountain was restored and Zhuo Fan sat in the main hall's main seat with a grin. After so many years, I'm back where I was. Steward Zhu, Li Jingshan rushed in with a grin. They're all in chaos, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan asked. What chaos? The Emperor's lands all are in chaos besides ours. Li Jingshan was excited. Those 5 went into hiding to kidnap people. Then when people's fears were greatest, the sacred mountains youths came to take over. The people were hopeful and the youths happy, thinking they'd soon found the missing people, only there has been no clue as to where they went. The report angered the young masters, saying the old fools were messing with their affairs. So they were punished, stipulating that they had to find the missing people in 3 days or all heads will roll. As you can imagine, thousands of people died, whole clans and even children. Now everyone lives in fear of the 3 young masters. Now they themselves have no one to order around, with the people leaving their homes and lives they built for generations instead of dealing with them. While the population in the demonic emperor's domain is growing constantly, Zhuo Fan nodded. I knew those pricks were crude and would mess up the lands big time. They only care for results and not the people. Soon those lands will be left empty. Right, those 3 are getting restless too, going after the fleeing people. If one escapes, their whole family is executed. They made a slaughterhouse, wanting to kill people for staying and for leaving, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan leaned back on his seat. With the lands in chaos, they will soon turn to us, ha ha ha. In a refined study, Xiang Feng was pacing around anxiously and was soaked in his own sweat. Su Tianchuan held a jade slip and muttered to himself. He ended up smashing it on the table to pieces, looking up with a frown. How do we reply? Reply to what? Wu Kaienqiu's face shook, looking pained. We're 3 months into our mission and the elders asked us about the situation. How do we answer? Everyone is fleeing from us. Many clans that mine and gather herbs all went into hiding. The resources have completely stopped being sent to the sacred mountains. How do we explain this to the elders? Think of something. I have. We tried everything we could think of, threats and rewards, but nothing works. We don't have any more people, they're gone. We're from the sacred mountains, yet why are they leaving us? Su Tianchuan's face twitched and grimaced. It has to be a ploy the 8 emperors are playing. They want us to become laughingstocks. How else do you explain the ruined control after all the hard work we've done? We've always been focused on searching for the missing people, so why are the rest leaving us? Something is afoot for sure. Yes, these wretched people should die for not living up to our goodwill. Xiang Feng's eyes flashed as he spat. I've never worked harder in my life, yet they're still ungrateful. Humph, elder brother, I say we're too lenient and need to be harsher. The next group of people that leave or stop gathering are to be killed along with their entire clan for 10 generations, include the neighbors as well. Kill all of them. I refuse to believe they'll run then. Humph, bam, Su Tianchuan slammed the table. All you know is killing. What use would that do? Instead of running, they're dead. What do you suggest, elder brother? Su Tianchuan squinted. Where are they going anyway? A few live in remote areas while most go to the demonic emperor's domain. The demonic emperor? Su Tianchuan muttered. The demonic emperor is dead with no one governing them. Yet they're still going there. Steward Zhuo Fan must have some skill like they say, since he has the least chaotic area with no independent warlords present. We made slight mistakes here, but we're still united here. There's no war, so there's no reason to run away, especially over there. Brother's right, the other 2 agreed. They were wrong about one thing. Even without Zhuo Fan, the demonic emperor's lands would still be stronger even with their infighting. Pa Su Tianchuan slapped the table again. Let's go see Zhuo Fan. Elder brother, what for? To help us with the chaos. You can't. Xiang Feng shook his head. That will mean we're as useless as the 8 emperors say. It's a disgrace, Su Tianchuan mocked. You call that disgrace? Zhuo Fan is but a steward, not one of the 8 emperors. The demonic emperor used him for his assistance, and so can we. We'll still earn the credit for it. We have to do something, or this year's transport of resources to the sacred mountains won't happen. When our masters and senior uncles come and find out the mess we're in, won't we disgrace ourselves by calling back the 8 emperors? Then the sacred mountains will have no reason to replace them and will be the laughingstock for ruining those old guys' plans. Xiang Feng gave a heavy nod. A month later, the 3 walked in with their heads held high into Devil Mountain's main hall. Zhuo Fan welcomed them with a smile and a bow. Young masters, you honor us with your visit. Enough crap, we need you for something. Su Tianchuan grew impatient as he sat down on the main seat. The other 2 sat at his side. What do you think this is, your house? Zhuo Fan's face twitched. Ha ha ha, how may I be of service? Nothing much, we just encountered a slight setback in our lands. Can you handle it? Slight? Morons, you call everyone jumping ship a slight setback. These guys have no idea of the severity of it all. The leaders all knew that population was production, fighting force, and generated talent. The 8 emperors looked at who was strongest in terms of lands, but it was actually population. Who had the most people was the strongest. The 8 emperors fought for lands to gain their resources, but also the people. The bigger the domain, the more people it could hold. No matter how deep the grudges, they would never touch the common folk, only another emperor's men. Once the population dropped, it would affect their position, their life, and their fate. But these brats call the loss of people a slight setback. Humph, they'd have been killed ages ago if not for sacred mountains having their backs, regardless of being new 8 emperors. It was also why Zhuo Fan only thought of the insults and didn't voice them. Since I can't touch you, I'll just control you, Humph. Zhuo Fan put on a sinister smile. It can't be easier. Oh, Su Tianchuan asked, you can make the fleeing people return and pacify them. Zhuo Fan nodded. It's very easy. When it comes to pacifying, I'm quite good at it. You can see for yourself how there's not the slightest trouble even with the inflow of people into the demonic emperor's domain. Then we'll leave it to you. Bai Su Tianchuan stood and left in a good mood, already celebrating his win. Zhuo Fan rushed to say, wait, wah, without the demonic emperor, everyone is only listening to me because the demonic emperor had given me his power before he died. I am the head steward here, but to intervene in your lands, I will also need a name to earn people's trust and make things smoother. Easy, we'll call you whatever you want. Su Tianchuan clapped his hands. From now on, you are the great steward of all the 8 emperors' lands. Your word is our word. We're behind you all the way. Anyway, it's in your hands now. Do it well and you'll be rewarded. Fail and it's off with your head. Zhuo Fan nodded with a smile. Understood. The 3 of them left in joy. Zhuo Fan called Li Jingshan over. It's time for us to take all the 8 emperors' lands. You know what to do. Worry not, Steward Zhuo. We're doing as you asked and taking care of all incoming people into the demonic emperor's domain, instilling in them the highest opinion of the Luo clan's honor and kindness. As long as we take them back, we will soon take all the power of all the lands. Zhuo Fan nodded. Go. He used the 3 useless bums of the sacred mountains to get his hands on all the lands. For whoever had the people's ear had the world, and to win their ear, one needed to get their respect. All who received the Luo clan's care went back home at the clan's request, proclaiming its honor and kindness. Thus, all the suffering people branded the clan as their savior. The Luo clan's experts were assigned new posts to pacify the people, making it that much easier. In order to quash the panic, Zhuo Fan used his new title the entitled pricks gave him to remove their harsh laws with kinder treatment. He took out many of the clan's assets to re-establish the people that had left. Of course, Zhuo Fan did not forget to leave the right name behind when doing every good deed. The Luo clan thus became the most respected clan everywhere. When the clan also found some criminals that kidnapped people, their popularity was at an all-time high. The Sacred Mountains pricks were nothing compared to the Luo clan, who actually showed results. The 3 ruled in name only, while the people only answered to the Luo clan. Zhuo Fan got his wish in uniting all the lands in just half a year, with the approval of those 3. This was far easier than imposing his own will on them. The local rulers were more than happy the Luo clan came to govern them, making no trouble whatsoever. They hailed them as their saviors from a world of hurt. The criminals are only scapegoats. In a study, Zhuo Fan wore a smile as he bowed to the shocked Su Tianchuan. Xiang Feng looked skeptical. You're saying you have no clue why so many people are missing? Yes, but we don't need to find out anyway. Why? Ha ha ha, people care for stability. With so many missing persons, it weighs heavy on their mind, making them uneasy. It's good the missing people happened over a short period. The culprit must have gone into hiding. To calm the populace, we just have to find some scapegoats. Zhuo Fan laughed, leaving the 3 young masters speechless. Su Tianchuan sighed, that's just wicked. Steward Zhuo, how do we reply to this jade slip when the missing people matter isn't solved? Easy, just don't include it. Zhuo Fan snickered. Young masters, with the whole of the 8 emperors' lands at peace, you can say you've done all you can to make production thrive and leave out the small stuff, including this. The missing people case can't be reported or it will affect your reputation. Su Tianchuan hesitated. Won't that mean lying to the elders? How adorable and gullible. Young Master Su, it's not lying but thoughtfulness. Zhuo Fan duped. Young Master, the seniors on the Sacred Mountains have a lot on their minds and are worried about you. Telling them every little setback will only make them anxious. It's all in the past now anyway. The results are also good and there's no need to make them angry. It would be very bad if they end up disappointed in you. The 3 nodded, with Xiang Feng smiling. Oh, Steward Zhu is right. Elder brother, let's not bother Master and the others. We have to think of them as well. Ha ha ha, right, thoughtful, being a caring disciple is important. Su Tianchuan was awkward, but he sighed in the end. He had no intention of reporting something he failed to do. What he was most afraid of was the other 2 pinning it on him. It was best for all 3 to come to a decision together. Then there's Steward Zhuo. Su Tianchuan smiled. Thank you for your proposal, Steward Zhuo. I'll be sure not to inconvenience our elders, ha ha ha. That isn't good either. Zhuo Fan now behaved modestly. The Sacred Mountains elders love their disciples. They must care so much about you, and since no one is perfect, they can overlook some mistakes you make as part of the new 8 emperors. By saying so, you make them worry again since they think you're overworking for their sake. Then what do you propose? Just add some slight incongruities. Zhuo Fan put on a sinister smile, whispering, "Nothing too important, only the small stuff." While the missing persons case is to be omitted, you could just say that only 10 or 100 went missing. You won't say that you haven't found the culprits, but that you had a hard time finding some accomplices after months of searching, then executed them. I believe the seniors would be proud of you. The trio nodded with joy, and Su Tianchuan wrote a reply under Zhuo Fan's indications. The sacred mountains sent these three to become part of the 8 emperors, but really to grasp more concrete control over everything. But a couple words from Zhuo Fan and the pricks ended up in his control instead. Su Tianchuan laughed as he finished. "Steward Zhu, you're amazing. Please prepare a draft before each report from now on." My thoughts exactly. This would pull the wool over the sacred mountain's eyes, blind to the real situation in the sacred domain. Besides, the rear was now assured, and all he had to do was wait for the dragons to give the signal to attack the sacred mountains. Zhuo Fan was meticulous, looking after the smallest detail. But when man proposes, God disposes. Luring the 8 emperors away from the big picture and letting them nibble at the sacred domain would turn out to be a pickle later on, something even Zhuo Fan didn't expect. He was no god after and wasn't all-knowing. Wuxia Jade Slip flew inside a large hall on the 7th sacred mountain, landing in an elder's hand. He smiled, and as he read, "The plan is going smoothly. The brats are doing a decent job. I was worried they might mess it up. This shows our disciples are the best of the best, true paragons, ha ha ha. We sent the 3 ahead to get used to things there. But now it seems the 8 emperors' lands will soon be a part of the sacred mountains. We'll know the instant the fated man appears and be there to snatch the opportunity." Another elder agreed. The others looked just as pleased. The 7 sacred mountains had been the peak of humanity ever since they came to be formed. But 100 years ago, the sky changed that, a sign that a new human would take the throne and even become sovereign. They could never tolerate anyone better than them or let this event birth a sovereign. So they chose to control everything to stop it. Only they had the right to ascend to sovereignty. What of old he from the 6th sacred mountain? While the mountain lords convene, he's running off somewhere. One elder glanced at the empty chair. The elder in the main seat chuckled. "No point in waiting for him. He won't come." "Why, haven't you heard? His son was killed near Ruby Cloud Sect. The people below are still searching for clues over the past year without results." He could no longer wait and went down himself. Himself, a mountain lord, ha ha ha, doesn't he have capable people? That was before, and now, there's been no message from any of them for a year. Someone must have got to them. Oh, they all cried out, first his son and now the scouts. Someone's after our 7 sacred mountains, or is it just the 6th sacred mountain? An elder with a beard shook his head. Troubled times are coming. Maybe the omen of 100 years ago is taking place. In the enchanting Empress lands, a rough man with a bamboo hat walked on a crowded street. He glanced around and grabbed a woman's arm. She cried out, "What are you doing? Where's the enchanting Empress?" "I don't know. You're wearing Ruby Cloud Sect's attire, so how can you not know? Talk." The big man had a tight grip on her hand. She teared up under the pain. I really don't know. Master vanished overnight along with many of my sisters. Let go of me. How come you're still here? I went to see my lover that night and found them gone when I came back." The big man paused and gave her an odd look. "What's going on?" The broads ran too fast. Was it out of guilt over my son's death? He showed his bearded face and threw the woman aside. But then he asked, "Anything strange happened before the enchanting Empress left?" Maybe she acted oddly? Nothing, just, what? Shortly after she vanished, many cities around became void of people. The same happened to other emperors' lands. All the people vanished, the mountain lord's suspicion grew, and the same occurred in the other lands. Yes, curses, just who can do it? Who can take so many people without a sign? The mountain lord frowned. Even a saint can't do it, unless they listen to his orders. But who is it? The mountain lord was deep in thought, giving the chance for the woman to escape as she cursed him for being insane. Ignoring the fleeing woman, mountain lord, he focused on his own thoughts. A shout broke through his concentration, with the street bustling with activity. Look, the Luo clan made an announcement. Everyone rushed in that direction, leaving mountain lord he baffled. There's nobody surnamed Luo among the 8 emperors. Mountain lord, he walked over as well and saw a golden paper on the gatehouse. His eyes picked up on Zhuo Fan's name. Where have I heard this name? Mountain lord, he muttered. The enchanting empress said that the demonic emperor had a shrewd man under him related to Chu Qingcheng. But since he's working for the demonic emperor, what's he doing in the enchanting empress lands? While he was baffled, the people around him started talking and cleared his doubts. The Luo clan is honorable and kind. They looked after us in our time of need, and now they're saying they're using their own wealth to help rebuild our homes. It's such a blessing to have them governing us instead. Those 8 emperors fought non-stop, and we could only bear the suffering. With the Luo clan in charge of all the lands and steward Zhu's eminent status, the world is at peace, ha ha ha. Luo clan ruling the 8 lands. Mountain Lord, he grabbed a man and shouted, "What the hell are you spouting? Aren't they under the 8 emperors? How can the Luo clan take over?" The man winced in pain and looked at him with apprehension. "Have you been living under a rock or something? That's old news. A year ago, 3 emperors died and the rest vanished. There's no 8 emperors anymore. What about the new emperors from the sacred mountains? Did they run away? Them?" At their mention, the man looked sneered despite the pain. "You call those devils emperors? They threw all the lands in chaos the minute they took charge. There were more deaths than from even an 8 emperors war. Plus, to make matters worse, those 3 devils were unreasonable. It's only thanks to the Luo clan's kindness and Steward Zhuo's wise guidance that this mess was dealt with, or all of the emperor's lands would have been deserted, with people fleeing into the mountains. Just ask around. Everyone hates those pricks. We'd have long since revolted if not for them having the sacred mountains behind them." Mountain Lord, his hand shook and he released him. "Where are the fools now? Who knows? Anyway, we all follow the Luo clan's lead. No one cares about them. Guess they couldn't live with the shame of staying around and must have run back to sacred mountains." Pa. A crisp slap rang and the person tumbled to the ground with a bleeding mouth from the shattered teeth. "Why did you hit me? It's already enough mercy that I only slapped you after you slandered the sacred mountain's disciples." Mountain Lord, he glared. "Beat it." The man flinched and scrambled away. The crowd scattered to stay clear of his ire. Only Mountain Lord he was left, along with the bright and dazzling announcement. He tore the announcement to pieces before walking away with pride. "Humph, I'll check on the Ruby Cloud Sect first. I'll handle the Luo clan later." An hour later, Mountain Lord he was before Ruby Cloud Sect, finding it run down and deserted. "Mountain Lord," he roared, "enchanting Empress, show yourself." The booming voice shook the heavens and the mountain range trembled. Alas, no one came to meet him. Mountain Lord, he was looking dark. That broad is hiding. But where did she go? Crack. At the sound, Mountain Lord, he shot over there and arrived at a spring where someone was shaking like a leaf. He yanked the girl's shoulder. Don't kill me, master, don't kill me." The girl's messy hair was blown away and he recognized her as a Ruby Cloud Sect disciple. He cried, "Where's the enchanting Empress? Talk, enchanting Empress." The woman's spirit snapped and she wailed, "No, don't kill me, master, please." What could have driven this girl to madness? Mountain Lord, he looked at her with a cold eye and pierced her skull with his fingers, letting the blood dye her face red. The girl's eyes bugged out and she grimaced in pain. Mountain Lord, he showed an evil smile. "Girl, don't worry. The soul-separating art will trigger your memories so you can remember. Now tell me, who are you?" "Ruby Cloud Sect's head disciple, Fang Min." The woman's face swelled like a red balloon, stammering from pain. Her answer was flat, like her mind was gone. Her soul was in this guy's hand, making it impossible to lie. Even mad as she was, her soul still held memories as she retold everything she knew. "Mountain Lord," he said, "do you know where the enchanting Empress went?" "Yes, Hidden Dragon Mountain, Broken Cave. What's she doing there?" "See, cultivating." "Cultivating what?" Mountain Lord, he roared. Fang Min's terror was reawakened and her soul trembled as her face grimaced harder. I don't know." Master turned scary. "She's turning people to dust and her temper is getting wilder. She can't have enough people, so she used my sisters to train. Even Senior Aunt May fell. I managed to escape amidst the chaos. She wants to get me back." "No, I can't go back, I can't." Fang Min's eyes were filled with terror and her soul reacted the same way. With a boom, she detonated her spirit, ravaging the deserted Ruby Cloud Sect, leveling half of it. When the dust settled, Mountain Lord, he brushed away the dirt on his clothes and looked puzzled. The enchanting Empress kidnapped people to cultivate, but what kind of evil skill is she training in to cause her disciple to go mad? Mountain Lord, he sneered. "Fine, I'll see for myself what you broads are up to." Mountain Lord, he vanished. 2 weeks later, before Broken Cave on Hidden Dragon Mountain, there was blood everywhere. He knew he was at the right place and rushed inside. The scene shocked him to the core. The cavern was huge, yet before him, the mountains of bones almost filled it. There was also a lot of dust and scraps of clothing everywhere. It looked more like a graveyard. Waving the dust away and the scraps, Mountain Lord, he grasped one clothing scrap in particular. This was very familiar to him, belonging to his son. It was the same one enchanting Empress showed it to him, and now he was seeing it here. "Rotten Biddy, get out now. You killed my son, didn't you? I'll rip you to pieces for fooling me." Mountain Lord, he roared and the mountain shook. Tornadoes wrecked the cavern. Hi, hi, hi. A shrill cry reached his ears and a woman in gorgeous clothing appeared among the ashes. Her hair was messy and she had a dark face with black energy oozing out of her. Her eyes looked distressed but more mad than anything. "Brother Dong, you finally came to see me. When will you take me to the sacred mountains for us to live together?" Lord He's eyes shook as he regarded the familiar clothes and grew outraged. "Enchanting Empress, are you mad? What's with this creepy look?" The enchanting Empress gave him a coy look. Why, brother Dong, didn't you like me because of my looks? Now, you were a charming lady before, but now just an old biddy warped into a monster. What a joke. He Haedong, you don't get to say that. The enchanting empress bit back. I aged because I scouted 9 Serenity's tomb for you, and the demonic energy infected me. I've done so much for you, you ungrateful pig, yet you only ever see me as your lapdog to use and discard. You gave me so many sweet promises back then, saying you'd take me to the sacred mountains. Yet when I got older, you didn't visit me once. The only reason you ever showed up again was because of King Cheng 100 years ago. He Haedong sneered, ungrateful. You have some nerve, didn't you come on to me for something? We simply made a deal. We had fun for a while, and I gave you an earth cultivation method from the sacred mountains to get your emperor title. I'm the reason a broad like you got to stand tall among the other vicious men. Stop spouting rubbish. I wanted more than that. You said you'd take me to the sacred mountains. You were the most beautiful in the sacred domain, but the sacred mountains is a place based on bloodlines. A lowly nobody has no right to enter. Why did you promise me? You actually took those pillow talks seriously. Yanner, you were never that naive. He Haedong held his head high. I was the 6th sacred mountain lord's successor, and I was not about to ruin my future over some broad. I'll be honest, you had no chance of stepping on sacred mountains, even if you were forever as enchanting as your younger self. Why you? The enchanting empress glared at him, and she grew more hideous in her rage. Her black energy grew thicker. He Haedong gave her a look of disgust. Look at you, so vile and ghastly. I'm sick just by looking at you. And what is this? He Haedong finally got to the point, holding the ashes in his hand. I don't care what abominable art you're into, but you better explain this to me. Why are these the same as the one you left me when my son died? Did you kill him? Red eyes stared at him with mockery and madness. Ha ha ha, what do you think, brother Dong? You did it. He Haedong grew furious. He was my only son, you stinking broad. How cruel, the enchanting empress sneered. Only son, ha ha ha, that's what you get for everything you've done. You could have had another son, but you were too savage and heartless, preferring to. The enchanting empress rubbed her belly. None is better than some stinking half-breed. He Haedong spat. The enchanting empress cackled. Since Lord Saint doesn't cherish it, or me, you could have killed me then. He Zhuo Fan was your only son, so how could I stay my hand from your son? Ha ha ha, did you really kill my son? He Haedong barked. Die, you bloody hag. The enchanting empress sneered and flicked her hand, turning into black mist and flying out of the cave. He Haedong, let's fight outside. Stand still, you hag. Whoosh, the two flew outside, and the enchanting empress looked back at him with laughter. She was wrapped in black energy, with 2 black flowers wearing ghastly faces towering 1,000 meters above He Haedong. Sacred body, He Haedong gasped, you're a saint, impossible. You never advanced in thousands of years, yet now you succeeded in just a year. The cultivation method I gave you could never have helped you. Ha ha ha, He Haedong, I knew you didn't want me on the sacred mountains, so how could you give me a good cultivation method? But when man proposes, God disposes. The sacred mountains aren't the only ones with the best cultivation methods. I found one down here. Humph, cocky much. A mere early Saint Broad can't do anything against a peak saint like me. He Haedong shot in the air with a disdainful smile. With a swift turn, thunderous lightning appeared around him, and suddenly, a furious Vajra wielding 12 divine swords emerged around him, 300 meters tall, exuding an imposing and ferocious aura. Just as they appeared, they had already caused the heavens and earth to tremble. Vajra and the demon faced each other. Staring at the thunder giant, the enchanting empress recalled the past for a moment, then her gaze turned manic. The demonic body shot forth, and 2 black lotuses on its back flew out, turning into bloody mouths biting at the thunder giant. Bam! In a burst of lightning, the 2 dark flowers turned to nothing before they could strike. The Vajra held a thunder sword with a fierce and imposing aura. As He Haedong watched, he sneered. He seized the advantage and directed the giant to charge. His other hand grabbed another thunder sword from his back and slashed so fast he unleashed 72 strikes in a blink. When they stopped, a deafening explosion occurred and the demon shattered to pieces. The enchanting empress stumbled, falling to the ground and spewing blood. She was pale as her innards were lacerated, her life hanging by a thread. He Haedong withdrew his sacred body and walked over with malice. He grabbed the enchanting empress by the neck and roared, "Damn broad, you killed my son and I'll send you to hell for this." The enchanting empress sneered like a demon, wanting to send the world into oblivion. "Do you not fear death?" He Haedong raised an eyebrow and taunted. "Then I won't kill you, but I'll make you wish I did, ha ha ha." The enchanting empress had the same sneer on her face. He Haedong was puzzled. "You must have lost your mind. You think I can't do it. There's nothing a heartless man like you wouldn't do, ha ha ha." The enchanting empress mocked. "I'm laughing at you, for you can never make me beg for death." "What was that?" I said. "You can never make my life worse for an already dying woman." Ha ha ha, her laughter was tinged with sadness and bitterness. He Haedong felt conflicted, but then he looked down to see the black energy enveloping her and turning her to dust. She was fading faster and faster, starting with her legs. What is this, Brother Dong? The enchanting empress gave him a taunting look. I knew this would be my end before I even fought you. It's great that I can let go of all the anger and grief for so many years before dying. But you will never get the chance. You will never know who really killed your son, ha ha ha. What? He Haedong barked and shook her. You didn't kill my son, then who did? Tell me. The enchanting empress closed her eyes as the black energy ate her alive. In the moment of her death, her mouth formed a bitter smile. Steward Zhu, you were excellent. Everyone fell for your trick. I should have known that the demonic emperor's cultivation method and Zhuo Feng's death, as well as King Cheng's disappearance, were related to you. I just wanted a sovereign cultivation method so badly that I didn't care about anything else. Of everyone, you are the only winner standing, easily taking over all the lands with us unable to climb out of this damning cultivation method. What a deep mind. What a thorough plan. But I am not going to pass on this cruel cultivation method on my deathbed like you gave it to us. I'm sorry to disappoint. I may hate him, but I once loved him despite him not caring, ha ha ha. Enchanting Empress, tell me now, damn it, who killed my son? Haedong was outraged at her silence. The enchanting Empress closed her eyes. I won't tell you. I won't let you get revenge for another woman's son. It's my last selfish wish. Enchanting Empress, farewell. A familiar voice entered her ears. The enchanting Empress' brow shook. Zhuo Fan, you can call me an old friend, demonic Emperor Zhuo Fan. What? Not many knew of your affair back then, but some of the 8 emperors did, including me. Zhuo Fan had his eyes closed, not far, sending, I'm doing this to settle our age-long grudge. I gave you the chance to settle your affair, but you chose not to. So that's why, the enchanting Empress chuckled, you came back and now you live up to your name in uniting our lands. For you were the strongest among us. The black energy surged and the enchanting Empress was swallowed up, leaving behind nothing but dust. Haedong's grip now held ashes and broken cloth just like his son. He looked at the sky confused and roared, what the hell is going on? Who killed my son? Whereas Chu Qingcheng? Is the enchanting Empress innocent or not? You'll know in time. There's no need to be hasty, Mountain Lord Zhuo Fan's eyes flashed and he snickered. He stood up and brushed the dirt off his body as he left. A month later, Zhuo Fan went to the Luo clan's base and entered his study with a smile. He gave a bookcase a light push and it slided to reveal a shelf with 8 pieces of wood holding the names of the 8 emperors. 3 of them were missing. He took out the enchanting Empress token and smiled, farewell, enchanting Empress. Zhuo Fan flicked it behind him. It burned in mid-air, landing in a brazier. Zhuo Fan, Chu Qingcheng burst in with a broad smile, but the row of emperor tokens left her startled. What are you doing? Zhuo Fan smiled and shrugged, nothing, just cleaning. These? Chu Qingcheng gave the tokens a skeptical look, feeling uneasy at the missing ones. Then she turned to the piece burning in the brazier, enough remaining for her to discern the enchanting Empress being written on it. Why did you burn my master's token? Oh, Qingcheng, you care so much about the murderer that tormented your family. Chu Qingcheng was grave, shaking her head. I don't. She hurt my family, but she is still my master that raised me for a century. How would you choose if you had to kill her? Zhuo Fan was solemn. Chu Qingcheng shuddered and teared up. I don't know, I just can't face her. Zhuo Fan, I don't know what to do. It's good that you don't know. Zhuo Fan held her shoulder, sighing, you don't need to know, but I won't lie to you. Your master is dead. What? I'm a man who can differentiate between personal and public matters. If I were you, I would have burned with revenge, going after her life for killing my family. But as she raised me and became my master, as a disciple, I should be filial. Zhuo Fan looked her in the eye. You no longer have to kill her. If you're still concerned, hold her last rites for all she has done for you. Of course, this is what I'd do. If you find anything painful, just do what your heart tells you and forget what I said. Chu Qingcheng rushed to say, no, you're right, opening my eyes. I could never strike her, but the least I can do is hold her last rites as her disciple for peace of mind. Great, go tell the rest and get ready. Chu Qingcheng nodded with a smile, leaving while taking one last look at the wooden tokens. Zhuo Fan smiled as he turned to the tokens, and then there were 4. Of the 8 emperors, only 4 remain. You must be thrilled to finally train in the supreme demonic cultivation method you yearned for so long, ha ha ha. Steward Zhu, Li Jingshan rushed in with a smile. I heard Miss Chu saying she wants to hold a service for her master. Does that mean you succeeded? Zhuo Fan nodded. Yeah, I went to see the enchanting empress and found her a saint in just a year, ha ha ha. She did it in a year when thousands of years didn't help. Li Jingshan smirked. Steward Zhu, you have an obscene cultivation method on you. You could use it to become a saint in no time at all, even sovereign. By then your greatest worry won't come to be, Zhuo Fan was grave, witnessing the 8 emperors training in the demon transformation art. I am now certain it emphasizes transformation and not absorbing all creation. Cultivation fills your heart with demons. It's better to be slow than rush it so that the demons can be purged and you can stand above them, achieving the pinnacle of the demonic path. Letting demons control you isn't the answer. The demon transformation art's swift speed is a great temptation, but only by not falling for its lure will one cultivate its essence. Those like Zhao Chen and the other 8 emperors will fall prey to it, but this is easier said than done. None can understand a sovereign's mind. Elder Li, if there comes a time when you seniors touch upon the sovereign stage, remember this, Tao is boundless, thus one must never be impatient. Ha ha ha, Steward Zhu, you're expecting too much. It's best you tell this to old Dan and them, I don't qualify. Li Jingshan beamed. He Heidong had seen the enchanting empress' harrowing demise and he became doubtful and lost. Who killed my son if not her? He had been looking into it for months now but never found anything. He chose to leave it be for now, for he had something urgent to discuss with the old men. The Sacred Mountains' plan for the Emperor lands had gone sideways. They had done the work for others to reap the profits. Their endless pride could never accept such a loss. It was like the Sacred Mountains were taken for fools. Mountain Lord He, on the 7th Sacred Mountain in front of a splendid hall, He Heidong was greeted by kneeling saints. He Heidong gave them a quick wave as he asked, "Are the other Mountain Lords in?" "The Mountain Lords are discussing right now." "Allow us to notify them." "Notify and discuss crap, more like it. Our efforts are taken by someone else and they have time for a chat." He Heidong stormed in. An old man with a long beard in the head seat smiled. "Heidong, sit, please. We were just talking about how those brats we sent down are doing a good job in keeping the peace. They still have a knack for leading the people. We intend to send 3 more to take over other spots in the 8 emperors. We are still debating who. Heidong, do you have any young talents on the 6th Sacred Mountain? Let's send someone from your place this time, ha ha ha. Send more fools to dance to another's tunes. To make it worse, they're happy to do it in their ignorance." He Heidong slumped in his chair, gnashing his teeth. "Brothers, you're only hearing brats bragging about their great achievements while hiding what's really happening down there. Just send someone to see. The Emperor lands are now under the Luo clan's leadership, with the people knowing nothing of the 8 emperors or sacred mountains. The 3 young masters we sent are worse than puppets. At least with royal puppets the people know who rules, but these dumb brats..." "What?" the 6 gasped. "Heidong, what did you say? Just tell us straight what's going on. Who is the Luo clan?" "We never heard of it." He Heidong's face twitched and he sighed. "These fools have been stuck on the sacred mountains all this time and are blind to the world outside. They only focus on the annual tribute, oblivious to the 3 brats acting just like them, ruining the sacred mountain's name with their crude attempts." Then the Luo clan swooped in to take over with no effort. "Utter fools." He Heidong took a deep breath and sipped his tea, then he recounted all he'd seen. The 6 old men blinked in shock, then were outraged. The Luo clan deserved death for deceiving the mighty and all-powerful sacred mountains. They didn't even stop to think of the horrors their 3 disciples inflicted on the innocent population or the scores of people killed unjustly. And now they had the nerve to be angry. "Zhuo here, what is?" At the break of dawn, Li Jingshan rushed into Zhuo Fan's study. The latter looked up from the latest reports with a frown. Li Jingshan grinned and bowed. "Like you predicted, the Emperor's lands are in chaos once more. People are missing en masse now from largely the area once belonging to the Wraith Emperor, Sword Emperor, and the others. They must have run out of materials and gone out for another hunt, he. Although it's easy to absorb thousands of people, the regrets of each person have to be removed one at a time to prevent the regrets from twisting one's thoughts and causing insanity. Zhao Chen didn't, and neither did the enchanting Empress. Ha ha ha, they have passed the point of no return. Do they think the pinnacle of demonic cultivation is so easy to train in?" Zhuo Fan sneered. Li Jingshan nodded with a mocking smile. They were quite careful the first time around, covering their tracks in their abductions and leaving no trace behind. Now they just kill and train in the open. They have already lost it and didn't even bother to think, ha ha ha. What about the people in those areas? In panic, the sudden appearance of those lunatics spread panic and terror. The people are fleeing all over the place. The time for the Luo clan to step up has come. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. "Elder Lei, call old Dan and the other top experts. We're splitting up and removing the last of the 8 emperors for good. It will make the lands hum as the people shout out the Luo clan's name for days on end." Li Jingshan nodded, looking excited. "Awesome, we're finally doing it." The top Luo clan experts split into groups for their designated mission to take down the last 4 of the 8 emperors. They might be saints, but the ex-sword kings were no average peak emperors either. Zhuo Fan had complete confidence in them. At the same time, in a lavish pavilion, the 3 Sacred Mountains disciples lay back in their chairs to enjoy the bright sun. The gentle breeze brought fresh air that soothed their relaxed minds. Su Tianchuan sneered at the two. Being one of the 8 emperors is so damn easy. We're practically on holiday, ha ha ha. Yeah, just delegate all matters to others. Why bother doing anything ourselves? We were too green when we arrived, and all our hard work was only met with dissatisfaction. Xiang Feng grinned. Elder brother, it's even better than on the sacred mountains. No one bothers us about cultivation. We are free to be our own masters, ha ha ha. Wu Kainkyu agreed. The best part of all, we can just forget about the monthly reports to the sacred mountains and just enjoy a life of bliss and freedom. I bet our fellow brothers and sisters would seethe with jealousy if they knew how good we had it. The 3 laughed together. Su Tianchuan sat straight just then. I must say that Zhu knows his stuff. We tried all we could to solve the problems, but he did it like it was nothing. I can see why the demonic emperor had him take over his lands. It's so much easier with him around. With him having a handle on everything, we can just kick back and enjoy life. Right, it's amazing how someone of his low cultivation can order so many experts around. They're so quick to listen to, a real talent. Xiang Feng sat straight as well, laughing. Leave the emperor lands in his hands and we'll get endless holidays. Better than on the sacred mountains, right guys? The others laughed along. A thunderous roar had the two shivering. Brats, did the sacred mountains send you here on vacation? Humph, nothing but garbage. Whoosh, the 3 scrambled out of their chairs in fear, bowing, greeting 6th sacred mountain lord. How may we be of assistance? You dare ask me that? You don't even know how bad you messed up. The trio looked lost, with Su Tianchuan gathering his courage to say, Mountain Lord, we don't understand what you mean. We have low talents, but we never neglected our duty in the Emperor's lands. With the sacred mountain's blessings, the lands are safe and prosperous. We dare not take such credit. Whatever mistake we might have made, it's unknown to us. Oh, nice excuse you got there. He Haedong mocked. Then I should be showering you with rewards for a job well done, right? No, how could we? The 3 shook their heads with wide smiles. He Haedong's face twitched. You really want a reward. Now ask yourselves this. Were you the ones who pacified the lands, or you had not the slightest involvement? The trio shook, exclaiming, Mountain Lord, he knows the truth. But what's so bad about it? Why the hissy fit? Mountain Lord, we didn't do everything ourselves, but we found the right man for the job. How is that any different? Su Tianchuan explained. We 3 alone had to recruit helpers. Master has also warned and trained us to recognize talent. Haven't we done just that? Why so angry? He Haedong glared at their gullible faces. Humph, you found a mighty helper, all right. So great that you've made all of the Emperor's lands oblivious of your existence. Everyone only knows of the Luo clan leading and not the sacred mountains. The mere mention of you had them spouting curses and looks of scorn. Is this the great credit you earned the sacred mountains? What be, but how? The trio were stunned. Steward Zhuo gave us the reports for a preview the past year. How could the world not know we're the ones ruling the 8 emperors' lands? He Haedong barked. You worthless fools, that's just for show. Have you ever taken a walk outside and seen whose name they're shouting? The Luo clan and Zhuo Fan. They don't even know you're his puppets. That's worse than a puppet emperor who at least the people see and are aware of. Is this why we sent you down here, to be lost in obscurity? What, that? The trio were floored now, then were filled with righteous rage. Su Tianchuan slammed the table, breaking it into pieces this time. That son of Shidog played us for fools. We'll peel his skin and tear his flesh from his bones. The trio shot to their feet to make good on their threats. He Haedong's expression was dark as he flared his nostrils. I'm coming along since this is why I'm here. You have been an utter disappointment so far. You had no idea the other had used you for the entire year, disgracing the sacred mountains. We can no longer trust you with anything. I'm here to make sure the job is done and not let you mess it up further. He Haedong flew away. The other 3 gnashed their teeth. Curse that Zhuo Fan toying with us and ruining our good name. We'll have your head for this. You and your Luo clan. Crack, the trio's power exploded with their fury. In a dark forest, the ground was filled with dust and pieces of cloth. As 2 people appeared, Sword Child said, Dad, just like the other 4 cities, he cultivated here as well. The cities, having been so large, still had some remains, but there's nothing here. That means, this is his hideout where he brings back everything he got outside. Zhuo Fan snickered and roared, the Sword Emperor, stop hiding. We know you're there. The once great head of the 8 emperors, who reduced his own men to dust and butchered innocents, hasn't got the nerve to show himself. Shut your pie hole. An angry roar came and the world shook. An old man with messy hair flew in the air, staring down at them. His figure looked demonic with the black energy swirling around. Emperor floated down with his white hair swaying, showing his gaunt face. The corruption from the black energy that surrounded him struck terror in all who saw him. He was nothing like the previous head of the 8 emperors, but a demon that hell spat out. The Sword Emperor cursed like he wasn't aware who Zhuo Fan was. Rubbish. I'm the head of the 8 emperors, the pinnacle of the righteous path. I could never kill my own men. Only the demonic emperor and the like would dirty their hands as such. I am a man of honor and modesty. You have no right to impugn it. Yeah, Dad, there's nothing but dust around. How do you know he killed his men? There's nothing here to show it, not even a bone. His deranged look says it all. He's cultivated for too long. Zhuo Fan pointed at the Sword Emperor's mad gaze. 5 of the 8 emperors went into hiding with their people and enough materials, thinking they would soon come back out, but there's no end to greed. Take the demon transformation art too far and your mind gets warped. When these old fools found their materials ran out, their thirst grew so big they turned on their own people. The fact he looks like this proves he had no control in curbing this desire, or how he went around like a ravenous beast sucking up people's lives. I was thus confident the Sword Emperor's people were reduced to ashes by his own hand. But this geezer still thinks of himself as the model of dignity and honor. His actions drove him even more mad than the enchanting empress to not even recognize his people, but to see them as just walking materials. Sword Child nodded. I figured something was up when he didn't even remember the great Steward Zhuo. Steward Zhuo, who is that? The Sword Emperor shook his head, his eyes hazy. Zhuo Fan smirked in contempt. I was but a nobody and didn't require the Sword Emperor's attention, but there's one name I'm sure he still remembers. Zhuo Fan paused. Sword Emperor, do you remember demonic Emperor Zhuo Yifan? Zhuo Yifan, the Sword Emperor's face shook and he roared. Zhuo Yifan is not the head of the 8 emperors, I am. He is dead, his 9 serenities' secret records are mine. He can't threaten me, ha ha ha. That fool Zhao Chen, I got him in the 8 emperors, but I can remove him just as well. He isn't fit to even fight me. That idiot is worthless. I only helped him to get at his master, hi. Zhuo Fan took a deep breath, his face flat, but his eyes mocking. Sword Emperor, you wanted the 9 serenities' secret records that much. Of course, the demonic sovereign's cultivation method is something I must have. Since Zhuo Yifan didn't give it, I killed him. Congratulations, you now have it. Oh, really? The Sword Emperor flipped his dirty sleeves to search them. Where's my 9 serenities' secret records? In your heart. Aren't you training it? Oh, I am training it. Ha ha ha, I am. The Sword Emperor gave a mad laughter. I've cultivated 9 serenities' secret records and become the demonic sovereign. No one can stop me now. The 7 sacred mountains are nothing but bugs at my feet, ha ha ha. Yeah, you reign supreme, the pinnacle of the world, but there is one man who is still above you. Who? The Sword Emperor glared at Zhuo Fan with savagery. Zhuo Fan smiled me. You, who are you? Demonic Emperor Zhuo Yifan. Zhuo Yifan uttered. What? The Sword Emperor staggered back 2 steps. No, he died. He can't be alive. You're wrong. Demonic Emperor Zhuo Yifan didn't die. He's standing right before you. As long as he's alive, you will always be second. Sword Emperor Ao Changshan. No, I trained in 9 serenities' secret records. I'm the demonic sovereign. The demonic emperor is nothing to me. Wrong, the demonic emperor also trained in 9 serenities' secret records, far better than you. You will always be in his shadow. Ah. The Sword Emperor howled, his eyes bloodshot as he glared at Zhuo Fan with bloodthirst. He charged with a black blade, slashing at him. Zhuo Yifan, die so I may be the head of the 8 emperors, the best in the world. Ding. The Sword Emperor got flung back from the clash, staggering 5 steps. He now noticed the 8-year-old next to Zhuo Fan and his cruel smile. To get to my dad, you'll have to go through me first. Who are you? He's the Sword Emperor. Zhuo Fan said at the Sword Emperor's shock. He's the Sword Emperor. Then who am I? Whoever you want, but never again can you be the Sword Emperor, because you're not worthy of this title. Zhuo Fan smirked. Sword Emperor, the Emperor of the Sword. He might not be the strongest among the 8 emperors, but he should be at the pinnacle of the sword path, out of everyone's reach. But now, Ao Changshan, someone has surpassed you in the sword. My son won that title, leaving you in the dust, ha ha ha. The Sword Emperor's dark face twisted. No, I'm the Sword Emperor. I have the highest sword skills among the 8 emperors. None can take my name. Bam! The Sword Emperor howled and shot into the sky. Golden lights shone from his body, turning into a huge broadsword, its beauty marred by the black energy corroding it. A sacred body, Sword Child glanced at Zhuo Fan. He became a saint. You won't fight him. As if I came to take his title. Calling himself the Sword Emperor to my face is like asking to be thrashed. Sword Child snickered and shot for the Sword Emperor. The Sword Emperor looked at the little thing with rage. You dare steal my name? Take my sword. Whoosh, a golden wave shot from the sky with tremendous power. A sword to crush the heavens, a fortune upon the world, a purger of evil. Humph, you have some nerve to say that. You become evil yourself, a demon, and you dare preach about purging it. Sword Child mocked, drawing 2 fingers in a red glow as he shouted, Soaring sword, obliterate. Bam, the golden wave was smashed apart. The Sword Emperor gasped in disbelief, sending another golden wave, sweeping the 8 emperors, breaking demons and destroying evil. There's no strength in a twisted heart training in dignified swordsmanship. Sword child mocked, your sword is tainted, yet you call yourself an emperor. You're a disgrace to all sword cultivators in the world. Get lost. Sword child flicked his hand and a thunder wave shot using the sundering sword art. The golden wave was crushed once more. The sword emperor was stunned. Why are my sacred body swords so weak? Sword child reached him and his fingers shone black this time, slashing. Here's a true sword art, apocalyptic sword. Who blackness flooded as it pierced the huge head and cut it in two. With a mighty explosion, it disintegrated. The sword emperor coughed blood and slumped to the ground, having lost all strength. His eyes were still confused, mumbling, why? I'm a saint, so why did my sword grow weaker? Because you abandoned it. Zhuo Fan walked over, sighing. Ao Changshan, when we made a name for ourselves in the sacred domain, none of us would back down from a fight. But in the end, I became the strongest when the 8 emperors formed and you, ever the second. Zhuo Yifan. The sword emperor's eyes cleared up somewhat. How are you still alive and look like this, Steward Zhuo? Oh, you're awake. All I know is that I lost. The sword emperor gave a bitter smile, but I didn't lose to that child, but against myself. I, the great sword emperor, shunned the pursuit of the sword and went for a demonic cultivation method. I cast away my sword and trained in a shaky demonic path. Now that the demonic energy is gone from me, my end has come. I'm dying, but now I've come to realize why. My sword doesn't need the demonic sovereign's cultivation method, for that is not me. Zhuo Fan nodded and took his hand. It's good you realized it. As an old rival, I'll forget all the grudges and send you off. Sure, Zhuo Yifan. The sword emperor nodded, looking at the black energy on his hand. What is this? Don't you find giving your strength to the world a waste? It's better to let me take it. You. The sword emperor's face shook, sighing. Zhuo Yifan, you're still the same, infuriating. This is what you meant by sending me off, turning me into your material. Be careful not to end up like me. Rest easy, for I've long passed the point of letting greed control me. I have the restraint to not degenerate, he. Ha ha ha, great. I never knew the grudge 5,000 years ago was still ongoing, that it was just the start. It's you who won in the end, old rival. The sword emperor closed his eyes without regret, turning to dust. Zhuo Fan let the dust slip from his hand and his eyes shone as his aura surged. Child snickered, Dad, you, watch over me. With no time to set up a defensive array, Zhuo Fan sat down with a stern look. Sword child knew this was serious and looked around with scrutiny. A violent wind blew away the dust high up in the sky while the ground quaked. Zhuo Fan's power surged higher and higher, seeping into the earth and forcing sword child back a few steps. Dad has many sovereign legacies, and now he's entering Saint stage stronger than ever. The only way for the 7 sacred mountains to get the upper hand against Dad is if they surround him. The hidden sovereign aside, Dad is the strongest in the sacred domain. Zhuo Fan shook and a black image flew out of his body. It kept growing until it formed a black giant behind him, like a shadow. It reached 500 meters and roared at the heavens. Ah, a draconic roar echoed out as a blacker energy seeped from his body and wrapped the giant. Following cracking sounds, the giant now had black dragon scales all over it. A pitch-black cape fluttered behind, while a dragon maw was emblazoned on its chest with flickering eyes. The draconic roar shook the world around, making Sword Child cover his ears as he felt his soul shaking. He gasped, looking in awe at the huge shadow. This is Dad's sacred body. Amazing, he never felt such a powerful soul attack in his life. Not even the dragon saints could do it. Zhuo Fan eased a breath and turned grave. He flew up and entered the giant's forehead. Its eyes shone black and golden, with Zhuo Fan's divine eye of the void and apocalyptic thunderflame eye. He looked like a demonic god ready to bring down the end of days. Sword Child staggered in shock. Zhuo Fan shouted, "Come, my sword." Yes, Sword Child shot for Zhuo Fan and turned into the sovereign weapon. Gripping the blade, Zhuo Fan grinned and slashed. As the giant shadow copied him, a 200-meter-long pitch-black sword appeared in its hand, surging with black flames. This was his true sacred body, the peak form to cause untold destruction. With the apocalyptic sword in his hand, he was at full strength. In the Luo clan's main city, Luo Yuncheng and the girls chatted with Chu Qingcheng about Zhuo Fan. At Zhuo Fan's request, they never revealed the two's past, just talking about his temper and annoying quirks. The girls laughed and giggled sometimes while complaining the rest. What was constant was their admiration for him. Chu Qingcheng was puzzled. "Young Miss Luo, you all like Zhuo Fan?" Well, the girls blinked and shook their heads in silence. Chu Qingcheng found it even more peculiar. Why then is he only coming at me? I know that all of you are prettier than me and like Zhuo Fan more as well, so why? Sister Qingcheng, don't think too hard about it. He likes you and that's a fact. We also wish him happiness and bless. Is he just using me? Chu Qingcheng turned nervous. Luo Yuncheng guffawed. How can you think that? I saw the 8 emperor's tokens in his room. Just when my master died, he burned her token. So I figured, did he plan on striking the 8 emperors from the start? Chu Qingcheng looked crushed. Did he get close to me for another reason entirely? Staying in the Luo clan for so long, I can tell that he has a special status, controlling everything. Even your clan head listens to his words. He has nothing to worry about being punished by the clan head. He lied to me from the start. Luo Yuncheng sighed and held her shoulder. Sister Qingcheng, you have to believe me. Zhuo Fan can betray the world, but he would never betray you. Why? We only met a couple of times, so why? I'm sure he approached me on purpose too. Besides getting at my master, there must be another reason. Sister Qingcheng, Big Brother Zhuo's reason for approaching you is honest. He truly likes you. Xuenger smiled as she explained. This explanation had no real reason and only got Chu Qingcheng more worried. How is it that you all know the reason while I'm the only one in the dark? You all say he's sincere and I also feel it, but I just can't understand why he would ignore all the beauties around him and go for me. I'm not that charming. Silly sister, it's enough to know he's sincere. Why nitpick about it? Luo Yuncheng sighed. You two are alike in that, following your own paths. You're the one trying to unravel everything while he's determined to hide it. Why? I don't know. Luo Yuncheng shrugged. Maybe he doesn't want to burden you or make you sad. Since you have a new life, he wants to bury the past. Chu Qingcheng looked confused, but the knowing girls just gave her a reassuring nod. Just what is going on? She held her head, more confused than ever. Luo Yuncheng comforted, silly sister, isn't it enough to know he cares? Why bother thinking so much, ha ha ha. Chu Qingcheng gave a reluctant nod. Luo clan, come out this instance. The sudden shout made the sky tremble. The Luo clan shuddered with roof tiles falling down. The girls turned to Luo Yuncheng. She was grave. Zhuo Fan had all our strongest people sent to kill the lunatics. Now with no one capable of defending our home, someone comes knocking. Sister Yuncheng, let's check the situation first. Yun Shuang proposed. Luo Yuncheng nodded and the girls went to the entrance of the Luo clan manor. Luo Yunhai already brought the few emperors he had outside, staring at the 4 in the sky. A middle-aged man led them, the 6th mountain lord. Senior, how may I address you? I am the clan head Luo Yunhai. What have we done to offend you, senior? Luo Yunhai cupped his hands. He Haedong sneered. Su Tianchuan was the one to speak with pride. Where's Zhuo Fan? Tell him to come out now. Oh, Steward Zhuo, he's been awfully busy in the Emperor lands. He's taken people to settle matters. You'll have to wait a few months for his return. There's someone stirring things in Emperor lands. Why don't I know of this? Su Tianchuan roared. Zhuo Fan has some nerve, moving as he wants, not even informing us 3 of the Emperor lands situation. He plans on taking them from us. Curses, I had high hopes for him giving him such a crucial position, but he took advantage of my goodwill. God damn it, Su Tianchuan raved and Luo Yunhai cupped his hands. Sir, we are the true rulers of the Emperor lands, the sacred mountains, 3 representatives within the 8 emperors. Su Tianchuan's nostrils flared, then pointed at He Haedong with respect. He is the 6th sacred mountain's lord. Your clan dared to deceive us and now shall receive the capital punishment. Luo Yunhai gasped. The 6th sacred mountain, here so soon, but we have yet to hear from the dragons. He Haedong huffed. Stop wasting time and just kill them to preserve the sacred mountain's dignity. Once Zhuo Fan returns, deal with him as well. Let all of the 8 emperors' lands know today that they're under your control while the Luo clan seized power and were executed. Yes, the trio snickered and turned to the Luo clan with savage glints in their eyes. Yunhai's face twitched, his heart sank as he looked behind at his people. They were average emperors and couldn't handle the 3 peak emperors from the sacred mountains. It would have been great if that was all, but there was also the mountain lord. The mountain lord was a peak saint. With Steward Zhuo and all the other true experts gone, they stood no chance at even escaping. Luo Yunhai lamented at their fate. Su Tianchuan's trio grinned with malice. Their bloodlust spiked and their auras surged, ready to crush the Luo clan into the dust. Wait, a gentle voice came as a figure rushed before them and stalled the trio's bloodthirst. Su Tianchuan sneered, what is it, young miss, do you want to be our first victim? Humph, kill me and you're through. Oh, quite the temper on you. We are the sacred mountain's disciples, yet you think your backer can fight us. Of course, who's the suicidal moron? Right under your nose. The girl pointed straight at He Haedong. The trio started. He Haedong was curious. Young miss, do you know me? Nope. Why would I bother to protect you? Because you want me, the girl shouted. He Haedong gave her a long look, more confused. Su Tianchuan mocked, Lass, don't flatter yourself. You think you're the most beautiful lady in the sacred domain. Humph, who am I? The girl glared at He Xiaofeng. Mountain Lord He. If you really are the 6th mountain lord, then you'd know I'm Chu Qingcheng. Just like your son and my master. You were actually here. He Haedong's brow shot up, muttering, so the Luo clan took you from the Ruby Cloud Sect when they found you missing. I left and wasn't taken. I don't care. This just means they have something to do with my son's death. He Haedong's fury grew. His his terrible aura spreading over everyone and making Su Tianchuan shiver back. Mountain Lord, he is angry. Talk, how did my son die? You were all ignored for so long thinking you were weaklings, but this proves I need to conduct a thorough investigation. Mountain Lord, what are you saying? We had nothing to do with your son. Luo Yunhai played dumb. He knew the moment that the fact Zhuo Fan killed Zhuo Feng got out, the Luo clan would turn into a grave. They just had to bear through it for a bit and their lives would still hang on. He had to, so Zhuo Fan and the others could arrive on time to save them. He Heidong ignored their excuse, thirsty for vengeance. Humph, I don't need you to admit it either. You can't escape involvement either. Su Tianchuan show no mercy. Yes, the trio laughed and shot down. Luo Yunhai panicked and got ready to fight. Chu Qingcheng held a spiritual sword and brought it to her neck, shouting, just try it. If even one man dies today, I will join them in the afterlife. Your century of planning will all go to waste. Wait, He Heidong raised his hand, stopping the confused trio. He Heidong glared at her. What's your relation to them? Why protect them? You don't need to know, since they had nothing to do with your son. Let them go and I'll come with you. Or the only thing you'll be getting are corpses and an unsolved riddle. Chu Qingcheng smiled. He Heidong nodded. Fine, the enchanting empress raised quite the stubborn disciple. Now put down the sword, I promise you. But you must also promise to listen to me and I'll let them go. Chu Qingcheng looked back at the Luo clan with worry, then gave a firm nod. All right, now come with me. He Heidong was grave as he left, his voice echoing, and the clan head, he'll be coming with me to the sacred mountains. I need to clarify some things. As for the rest, I don't care. Luo Yunhai gave the others a nod and flew up with Chu Qingcheng after him. The three young masters remained behind with the Luo clan. With the clan head gone and no experts, there was no telling when Steward Zhu would be back to handle matters. Bang, then suddenly, explosions resounded around the Luo clan, and people were crashing into the ground as they coughed blood. Luo Yuncheng cried out at the vile trio. What are you doing? The Mountain Lord promised to let us go. The Mountain Lord promised not to kill you, but that didn't mean we can't beat you. We promised nothing, the trio grinned with malice. Zhuo Fan had the nerve to toy with us, making us receive punishment from the sacred mountains, so we'll make him pay. Once he returns, I'll show him what happens to bugs in the 8 emperors' lands who try to rise above their station. Luo Yuncheng's face sank. A month later, Zhuo Fan smiled at the city coming up in front, almost home. I wonder if Qingcheng missed me. She won't be the only one, Sword Child snickered. Zhuo Fan shook his head. Rustled dozens of figures flew next to the two, danking Shen and the others. They noticed Zhuo Fan was now at the 7th layer of Foundation Establishment stage, and they lit up. Steward Zhu, you advanced. Yeah, Dad is now a saint, Sword Child spoke with glee. The others gasped, so soon? Ha ha ha, it was just luck. Zhuo Fan was casual. I found it such a waste letting all the demonic energy Sword Emperor refine just vanish, so I took it and happened to break through. Since the source of his demonic energy is the same as mine, it was very easy to take it. Danking Shen nodded and mentioned, Steward Zhu's advancement is a reason to celebrate, but be careful not to stray like them. We witnessed just what happens when you lose your way. Their strength only increased while their path crumbled, just like a powerful wild animal. I'd rather be stuck than turn into such a saint. Yeah, but don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Zhuo Fan nodded. Did you handle the other 3 8 emperors? They all laughed, with Li Jingshan declaring, Steward Zhu, those madmen were nothing. It might have been a little tough with just one, but we were 5 against them, making it very easy. Good, this is a big matter, and we'll make a statement when we return home, that the sacred mountain saints are causing havoc and we're waging war with them to stop them. Yes, everyone nodded. A Sword Child gasped as he pointed, Father, why are the flags crooked on the broken walls? Did someone come here? Can't be, Zhuo Fan frowned. The 8 emperors' lands are ours, and with the sacred mountains in the dark, none can challenge us. Unless Zhuo Fan flew faster. Crack, the sharp sound of whips echoed in the Luo clan's wide gardens, where a dozen poles were placed with Luo Yuncheng and the other high officials tied up to them. They all looked pale and bleeding, but their eyes were firm. Pa. Su Tianchuan cracked the whip once more, then threw it away like a child. Elder brother, I've whipped them hundreds of times. I'm tired, that's nowhere near enough. All elders of the sacred mountains laugh at us. The great sacred mountains disciples ended up running in circles in the 8 emperors' lands. We are too ashamed to go back as we are. Su Tianchuan turned a savage grin to his victims. This is all because of them. The 8 emperors' lands think they're governed by the Luo clan, not sacred mountains. The Luo clan usurped power and must suffer, but Mountain Lord, he said not to kill them. That's why we're only venting on them. Su Tianchuan held out his hand in anger. Just give me the whip. I'll do it this time. Xiang Feng sighed and handed it over. Su Tianchuan used his 2 hands to test the whip around, then turned his vicious gaze on the helpless people. He approached a girl and nodded. You. Su Tianchuan swung back and let it fall. Luo Yuncheng panicked. Stop, she's just a child, she can't take your hits, I'll take her place. It's because she can't, it'll be her torture. Su Tianchun cackled, whipping spirit kings' tough bodies won't make you feel a thing. Only this young girl with low cultivation will have a full taste of pain, ha ha ha. Whoosh, the whip flicked in action. Luo Yuncheng panicked. Siphon, the girl had long since lost consciousness and couldn't hear her. A muffled sound came just then and the whip halted in the air. Su Tianchuan flinched and found Zhuo Fan holding it. He had a hard face, while Danking Shen and the rest looked ready for war. They'd been gone for a couple of months, yet someone made a mess of their clan. Intolerable. Zhuo Fan, Luo Yuncheng and Su Tianchuan cried out at the same time. The first was of joy, while the second was of anger and shock for not noticing when a bug took his whip. Zhuo Fan glared and muttered, none in the 8 Emperors' lands would mess with the Luo clan. The sacred mountains can't reach us either, unless they're the entitled puppeteered pricks got wilder and came here for a fight. The odds of that happening are next to zero, rather than enjoying their happy lives. So why? Humph, to think it's actually you. Zhuo Fan, you have some nerve, you dared to use us for puppets. Su Tianchuan roared, I'm going to kill you for your treachery, even if Mountain Lord he promised not to kill the Luo clan. You must die. Su Tianchuan shot for Zhuo Fan with bloodlust, a palm to the face. Zhuo Fan merely grabbed Su Tianchuan's hand, startling Kaian Qiu and Wu Kaian. It was beyond their comprehension how a peak emperor like Su Tianchuan could be grabbed like that. Su Tianchuan was stunned, then baffled. He then noticed the iron grip holding him and how powerless he was. Zhuo Fan ignored their shock. Mountain Lord he, 6th Mountain Lord he, Zhao Feng's dad. That's right, now let go before you're dead. Su Tianchuan replied while attempting to yank his hand free. Zhuo Fan's hand shook and Su Tianchuan lunged forward. A bang followed as Zhuo Fan slapped him to pieces, Su Tianchuan's body exploding in a shower of blood and flesh. SSS, the other two gasped and shivered. Why you killed a sacred mountain's disciple? Are you suicidal? Our fate is not up to you to decide. Zhuo Fan showed a vicious smile, since you won't be there to see it. Zhuo Fan gave Danking Shen a look and the Sword Kings unleashed their deadly sword arts on the two. An Emperor Stage Sacred Mountain's disciple had the advantage with the superior skills and cultivation method, but that was gone when facing Sword Kings who inherited the Sovereign's legacy. In a blink, the two breathed their last and were reduced to pieces. Zhuo Fan signaled the men to release the people on the pillars, while he went to untie Luo Yuncheng and the girls. His heart bled at their wounds. What happened? Where's Yunhai and King Cheng? The girls looked away and Zhuo Fan understood. Did Mountain Lord he seal your cultivation? There's no way those three could have captured you. It's because Sister Yuncheng worried about your plans. Xuenger glared at him. I was about to fight when the trio began attacking, but Sister Yuncheng blocked us, not wanting to expose us and ruin your plan. Since they only wanted to hurt us and not kill us, it wouldn't matter. Zhuo Fan was lost, looking at Luo Yuncheng's happy face. I was just too worried about your plans. Since we knew nothing, we couldn't do anything to ruin them. Now King Cheng and Yunhai are now on the 6th Sacred Mountain. If we had attacked those pricks, then the Sacred Mountains would notice and ruin everything. So we held in this little torment for the bigger picture. We discussed what to do when you came back, rather than have all our work fail. Young miss, you're still the same, looking at the future, the bellwether of the Luo clan. Even without Yunhai around, you can lead the Luo clan with no problem, Zhuo Fan praised. Luo Yuncheng's eyes shone, looking at the pieces on the ground. By the looks of it, has Steward Zhuo's machination come to fruition? Not quite, but now I can't take it anymore. Zhuo Fan's eyes burned with rage. Since the Mountain Lord came for us, we have no choice but to fight. Li Jingshan Q Yanhai, sir, rush to the Dragon Lands and confirm the situation. No matter the preparations, they are to march to the Sacred Mountains. The 8 Emperors' lands are now safe, leaving only flanking the Sacred Mountains. Isn't this what they've always been waiting for? Any longer and the Sacred Mountains will take the 8 Emperors' lands and will make things worse for the Dragon Lands. Make them come to a quick decision, even if it means only a couple hundred experts of assistance. Understood, the two flew away. Zhu Qingjian, Heaven and Earth Sages. Sir, send all the men of the Luo clan to announce that the Sacred Mountains' wretched act of stealing the 8 Emperors' lands resources and cutting the future of common cultivators. That they're sending people to mess with the 8 Emperors' lands and treat us all like slaves. They are practicing vile arts and raising us to become their materials. They are behind all the missing people from the start and the mad 8 Emperors recently. Pin everything on the Sacred Mountains. With those 3 pricks setting an example, the people have had enough of the Sacred Mountains. They'll believe anything at this point. Zhuo Fan gave an evil grin. I want the Sacred Mountains name dragged through the mud and then some. Understood, the 3 got to work. Luo Yuncheng frowned. The Sacred Mountains are too strong. Even with the 8 Emperors' lands believing us, the people would never voice their anger. I know, but I don't need them in the war just to side with us ideologically. They also need a leader. Zhuo Fan smirked. Young Miss, declare that the mountain lord he abducted Yunhai and say that we'll have justice. Declare war, Luo Yuncheng was worried. Then we'll soon be fighting for real. Isn't it too early to start when the dragons have yet to send word? Don't worry, declaring war won't mean an immediate war. Zhuo Fan smirked, clenching his fists. I'll have all of the sacred domain and the sacred mountains regard us with caution at the declaration of war.